Welcome everyone. It is now officially day 2 of the PDR. We're going to do 3 different builds today, or 4 actually. We're going to do the Hydra sorc with the big Hydras. We're going to do Thorns monkey that we already did last season, but we're going to do it better now. And we're going to try out if overpowered truly get ruined. Season 9 is still a while away, yes, but Season 8 is also pretty much over. I mean, for me, I have done everything that is remotely possible in Season 8. Season Journey done, all of it. So that's that. Let's teleport over to Chivachat. And what we're going to do is, we're going to equip all the gear that you need for Bloodwave. I'm not going to masterwork a single piece. And we'll just see how big is the damage under these circumstances. Then we'll gradually put some Paragon points in, just to see how powerful would be the jump into the build from the beginning on. What we need to get is ourselves every single class unique. So we go for equipment and then grant all uniques. That would then give me the class uniques, because I will obviously need Panzer Doodle and Andy. So we have the Casimies. But I need Indiras. I don't need Casimies. Wait, did I not pick up the... Okay, this one does 0 damage because I don't have a weapon. Yep, that's fine. That's Bloodwave cooldown reduction. The rest can be destroyed. Did not activate the advanced tooltip. No, we have advanced tooltip and everything on. Okay. Then we need a normal equipment. Equipment, I need random legendaries. And we probably need, well, what do we want to have? I'm going to be lazy. We're going to play with Harlequin Crest, and we're going to play with Shroud of False Death as well. I'm probably not going to do Ring of Starless now. We're not going to do Starless, so that's fine.
Come back if you need work.
Then we need random legendaries. I need a cool 2-handed weapon. It could be a... Actually, we're going to take Obolts to gamble something, I guess. Skeleton Warrior Mastery. We need gloves. We need... You know what? Gambling is probably better in this case. I was thinking about, like, well, what should we do? Like, we probably should gamble. We could go for intelligence, critical strike chance. We need to actually go for critical strike chance. I didn't actually think about it, but yeah, critical strike chance is necessary right now. Huh. Intriguing. Let's destroy all we have. Where's the Obol vendor here? I get the bag of Obolts. Because right now I need a... What do we need? We need a pair of boots. So we just need something with like maximum life here. This is movement speed. This intelligence. And maximum life would be better, but it'll do the trick, right? And we can destroy everything. And we'll need a pair of gloves. They should preferably have critical strike chance. Chance for primary resource, intelligence, maximum life, and then we can re-roll the fire resistance into critical strike chance. Here, 7%. Do the trick. Good. And we're gonna be doing another ring. Goal right now with this build will be to figure out if they truly ruined overpower, right? And we want to see how powerful can overpower still be. Is it still on the track of being fun if people then like to play overpower? Because obviously I know tons of people do enjoy playing overpower. Therefore, we should give it an honest try. Better resistance goes out. We need critical strike chance here as well. Not damage. Like, it's sad that we actually need to go for critical strike chance again after all this coolness, because we had so much fun, like, just boosting Just boosting everything else but crit chance, but now you need to go for crit chance back again. Bit of a bummer. What are we gonna go for? A sword or a overpower? I mean, since they nerfed overpower, technically going for more overpower, is that really worth it? Maybe crit would be better, but let's do two-handed mace. Intelligence and damage, but not maximum life. Green. So hard to get one with maximum life. Oh, I just got a lot of them. That's vulnerable damage. That's essence. I mean, they're really averse to they're really averse to giving you maximum life. Here, I'm gonna take that one. Why not use Air of Perdition for crit chance? Because I just like the Harlequin Crest. Because with Harlequin Crest, you can play without Fastbot aspect. If you then manage to actually get everything correctly. I need more obolds. Does anyone have a back of obolds for me? Yabba dabba doo. Okay, we need an amulet with an intelligence percentage. And we're at least gonna try to build something like in the direction of what a realistic build would look like.
It seems your prayers have been answered. I need more time.
So Air of Perdition would definitely be an option to boost things. Oh wow, not a single greater affix one? That's rare. That's rare. Holy moly. Did anyone of you already see people try out Overpower Necro and can give us an estimate on how it feels? Wow, not a single greater affix one again. Huh. Ain't me surprised, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I want to say, if we give me like further no greater affix ones, we're throwing hands. Oh, and all these greater affix ones were just useless. Cool.
Need something for it to bark nicely.
I mean, at this point, I'm probably just going to poop out like boxes from the vendor. Oh wow. Nah. So what you could alternative do is you could just ask him for equipment, random legendaries, and then just pick up the amulet. Is there another amulet? No, Ryan? Shield, focus, scythe, dagger, chest. There's no amulet here. There's a ring and a ring. I'm just blind if I don't see the amulet, actually. Amulet. Need a loot filter? Need a loot filter just for this? Wow, why are you all so terrible? I mean, seriously, these are all just absolute terrible choices. Here, that is, thank you very much. That wasn't too hard, was it, Chad? Holy moly. Checking if I could get something. So this is roughly what we would need for setup. Let's put the skill points in properly. Respec, refund all, confirm. I mean, for Bloodwave, it's quite simple. You take 2 basic skills, then you're gonna boost Hoot Flesh for the corpse production. We're gonna get our light up. We get the Necrotic Fortitude, Titan's Fall, Spiked Armor for the time being. That one. Death Embrace, Lucky Hit, Tides of Blood. Did we do Corpse Tendrils? I remember right doing Corpse Tendrils? Did I not do? No, you don't need Corpse Tendrils. We do this. We do the sacrifice bonuses and the damage reduction. Okay, kind of all in that direction. I forgot 1, 2, 3 points here. 1, 2, 3 points here. I got 1 point spare. Why do I have 1 point spare? I mean, July. I don't understand. If I spend all the points where I'm supposed to spend all the points. Oh, because I didn't put anything into Blood Mist. I remember. Okay. Let's throw that one out. Sacrifice them for shadow damage. This for overpower. That for grid. Yeah. Then we got Blood Wave on 2. We have that on right click, and then the rest is just shadow skills. Ta-da. Actually, are we gonna play Blood Mist? we recently haven't needed Blood Mist at all, but we could probably just put it in. Yeah. Good. There's no Winds of Hatred. We could go for Propulsion, but we don't need Propulsion. Could use Astral Pillar just to pull things together. To make it shadow damage as well, because we're boosting shadow damage. That kind of makes sense. Then for the Paragon board, we would have to kick everything out. Is there any news on fixing the PDR master working insanity? No, absolutely zero news on that. But yeah, it's not really that troublesome because you can still test things. I mean, sure, the power level is a bit out of control if you masterwork something too good, but it's not going to lead to like 800% more damage. So it's kind of like, yeah, sure, it's there, annoying, but it's not like, oh no, everything is ruined. What are we going to do, right? Okay, Blood Baguettes. I'm truly intrigued to see how powerful this build still tends to be. Okay, we're going to invest the minimal amount of points that I need here to activate things. So not like the maximum I could do, just what I need to pretty much make things work. There goes Sacrificial in there. As soon as we get things working, we're pretty much moving on. That brings us into the Bloodbath board. Yep. Because I want to like check with minimal investment how viable the build is, not how maximum investment the build is viable. So no points into the upper echelons of these guilds. Essence. We're gonna make our way down into the Flesh Eater board. Which one are we playing? We're playing Abyssal in there. Abyssal. No, Abyssal needed dexterity to work, I remember. Tree. Good. We're not going to pick up the corpse attack speed. We're going to make our way outside. And that goes into the frailty board. And then we can play. Season 8 was so bad for greater affixes. Season 8 was super bad for greater affixes, my friend. That is fixed in this season, hopefully, because we should be dropping more greater affix gear than ever. That being said, we will see how that then truly turns out on the live release. So far, there have been a good amount dropping from normal nightmare dungeons and other shenanigans as well. So there are truly greater affix items around and feelingly more than the seasons before. Okay, we're sitting at 14,000 life. We have nothing masterwork. That's good. Let me actually masterwork this so I don't have to worry about any kind of maximum armor or something. So we're going to get you up to cooldown reduction. Yep. And we're going to get you up to armor. Perfect. Thank you. And then I just need to craft myself one single skull and we're good to go. So that's going to be a skull function. Actually, no, we don't need a skull. What are we going to take? We're going to take, I do 20% more damage. No, I don't do elemental damage. After you cast your catalytic skill, if it's an ultimate skill, gain 30% attack speed. I'm not sure if that's even remotely worth it, to be honest. Bonus damage reduction, elemental resistance, but I don't actually die. So I could, in this case, boost my Arcana skill, right? Because that might just be better. Topaces. We're not gonna put anything into runes yet. Okay, let's just see how much damage would this be if I just jump into a nightmare dungeon. Okay, torment 4 nightmare dungeon should obviously not be a problem, right? Torment 4 nightmare dungeon, wherever that one open up. We should get the aspect. Oops. Hey chat, we should get the aspects. By the way, how are you enjoying what you saw of season 9 so far? Some feedback. We just uploaded a video that kind of wraps all my thoughts together. How the gameplay loop will be looking, how the game will play in total, and I'm not sure how people will receive it. Okay, we forget the aspects completely because we're obviously a super newbie booby. The gloves are pure. Boots are metamorphosis. This is title. Then we got ultimate. We got sacrificial. And we technically have how much cooldown reduction? Fast blood still. We're currently sitting at how much crit? I mean, our resistances are not really resistancing. We get crit, we get overpower, but crit chance is pretty low. We're testing Spiritborn this stream. Yeah, we're testing Spiritborn this stream too. I already pre-made the Spiritborn to kind of see how good that is. Okay, see, like there's hundreds of millions still, but no billions. So this would be with greater affix items and level 100 runes. This is already pretty telling, like on the power level nerf, because usually what I have right now would already deal multiple billions, right? Yeah. So that's a significant nerf in power level. I mean, the build is still going to be good because it just simply works, right? But this hurts to see. I mean, obviously, if we now masterwork things up, we should still do more damage, but that's not comparable. Damn. Right now, which do you think is better, D4 or Immortal? I mean, D4 is amazing, and Immortal is also really fun to play. Depends on what you enjoy, sir. Oh, there was billions, chat. So we've seen a 1 billion already after I spammed enough blood in a row. By the way, we need to turn off screen shake. For some reason, where's screen shake under? So usually under accessibility, you can turn the screen shake off. Screen shake effects. Thank you. Okay, here we get attacked by a special demon. If we get 2000, we get attunement and we get swiftness modes. Cool. Let's go. You're playing season 9 right now. Yes, this is the season 9 PTR. We are right now playing season 9 live. We're trying out the things on how good they are. So this is currently the old, new, old that we're used to Bloodwave. And I just wanted to see on how powerful would Bloodwave still be. I mean, considering that we have good equipment and tier 100 glyphs, because this is something to like look at the build right now. So this is the build without masterworks, but tier 100 glyphs. The tier 100 glyphs are kind of like the equivalent of actually masterworking. So this is like the expected power level of Bloodwave, which is still a good power level. I mean, I'm able to do like 1 billion damage, so I should be able to comfortably delete Belial with this. It would just obviously take longer than you're used to. You're also not getting to the hundreds of billions anymore, so you're only getting billions. This will definitely make Necro players sad because you pretty much used to play Bloodwave up to pit 100. Now you're gonna be lucky if it is like pit. Oh, there's the butcher. Thank you very much. I mean, you're gonna be really happy if it does like pit 75. That should be possible. Pit 80, maybe pit 90 if you really max it out. But I just really can't see it doing like overly crazy. This is, by the way, one of the strong rooms, ladies and gentlemen. They are a bit lackluster, I'll have to say. I was expecting more of them. They're not bad. Okay, so don't get me wrong. Don't mistake lackluster for bad. They're there, but not breathtaking. I'm kind of missing like a feeling of progression inside of them. That makes me a bit sad. It also seems to be always the Blood Bishop. I thought we were getting different bosses. So this was now the thing. We're getting the sword. We open this up. See how this would vibe versus Belial. Try this on Belial and other layer bosses. I mean, it's gonna be doing what it does, Murd. I'm not like, you're gonna kill it. Yeah, Bloodwave is still working. Oh, by the way, we don't have a single temper. Okay, we could add some tempers to this now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we can do. I could add ranks to finality, right? That's what we usually do. No, wait, Titan's Fall or Finality? Which one is it? It was Finality. Okay. So we temper, and then we're adding overpower or crit, doesn't matter. The one I'm actually getting. Vulnerable damage. Vulnerable damage. Hey, if I get one more vulnerable damage. Okay, yeah, sure. How about vulnerable damage? Yeah, sure. I didn't want anything but vulnerable damage anyways. Because why would I ever want anything but vulnerable damage? Right? Chad? Surely. Surely. This would be... I mean, like, also blood tier... Vulnerable damage, cool. At least I know there's something else there, right? I know there's critical strike, and I know there's overpower damage, so that makes me happy. Let's just do the basic tempers. We're still not master working, so obviously for Belial I should master work. For Belial I should also add runes. Which runes are we playing? Sur and Vex. And we play Quox. Okay, I need runes. Tukuvachat. Tukuvachat! You know what class is best DPS in D4? Right now in the live or on the test server? In live, it's currently Rogue and Sorc.
What do you need?
Okay, I need all the runes. Equipment. Ground uniques. Ground all runes. Thank you very much.
Not while I'm in town.
Dankeschön, Dankeschön. Where did all the runes go? Chat, all the runes just vanished. Where did the runes go? Okay. I want them back. Equipment. Ground all runes. Did I spawn too many? Fast, pick him up before they vanish. Oh my goodness, I need to be faster. Faster. Okay. I got some, chat. I got some. I like, maybe not the ones I wanted, but like I at least have some of them. Okay. I'm looking for the Quox rune. No Quox rune. Let's see. Equipment. Ground all runes. Okay, ground all runes. We need invocation. Quox. I got Quox. So it's just literally if you're standing in front of the box of riches, it doesn't work. It's good to know, right? Okay, we need Quox because Quox is the biggest damage you can get. Quox and ultimate. Here, cast ultimate. What we need to temper on one of these things is like a hit chance to restore resource. The simple reason that here, lucky a chance to restore resource and lucky a chance to restore resource for now. Thank you very much. Okay, we're not going to temper anything further, so we're just going to jump to Belial. We should temper, obviously, to be more powerful, but I just, you know, we need to see. I used to be able to kill Belial like this in Torment 4, right? So, how is Torment 4 Belial going to feel? Here, necrotic potion. So like, we're gonna win this fight, obviously. But this is like taking longer than ever before. Now I do believe if I fully masterwork myself out, right, we should probably get somewhere in between of the 100 billion damage, right? Chat, I mean there was a 4 billion hit there, so that's nice. So 4 billion possible. Not easily, but still happening, right? So we are doing the damage. The damage nerf is real, but again, like, consider we're not masterworked a single time, but we do have the Paragon board up, right? So we have Paragon 100 glyphs. You can still play it, okay? You can still play it. I think the biggest point to look at is, okay, Chad, we would still dominate in Torment 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So Blood Wave, 1, 2, and 3. Are you going to try Elden Ring Night Rain? Yes, I got hit up by my boys from Fixed Life. We're probably going to play together, Cass and I. It's going to be Elden Ring Night Rain galore. I'm going to wake up at midnight to play. Okay. So, nerfed but viable, chat. If I would now power level this, right? If I would now upgrade this a lot, we would do vastly more damage. If I add another rune, we would do vastly more damage. Definitely. Okay, so that was the try for Necromancer. Let's actually save this before I lose it. That would be save and then rename. That's the wave. That's minions. Now what we're going to try out, two more things. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a sorc. We already did some pre-work for the sorc because it kind of looks cool. The sorc is going to be a Hydra character. She is going to summon, I'll show you quickly, but we actually do the Spiritborn now. Okay, I want to show you the sorc, but we want to do the Spiritborn first because I want to see how the Thorns thingy is actually working out. I think most people will be okay with taking longer to kill a boss with increase the drop quality to compensate. Yeah, that's not happening. How's rune drop rate? We haven't really tested. So this is like going to be the Hydra with like big Hydras on the Ophidian Iris. It has to make like bigger Hydras now that do more damage. I have to understand a few things about this build still and how it works. And I have to obviously equip some aspects. And we need the bonus Hydras, I think, right? And then you need the tempers. Because the whole thing about Hydra is getting more heads. So I would have to get a... Hydra temper on your two-handed weapon, I think. You can actually see how that looks like. Infernal compasses, layer keys, nightmare escalation, random legendaries. So I just need a staff here, two-handed staff. Let's take that for now. Because there is a temper. Weapon temper, which one is it? Cast firebolt, or is it a offensive temper? Wait, it's a weapon offensive. No, it's a weapon temper. It would be called here. Casted Hydras have bonus heads. Right? So that's what we need. What do you need? But you need that at 4, right? If you're not getting this at 4, it's useless. Because right now the Cast Hydra has 2 heads. See, that's useless. It doesn't say 4 heads. You don't want it. Because right now this amulet says for each head above 3 that would have had, the Hydra grows larger and deals more damage. So you have plus 2 heads already, plus 200% damage. And then if you get another plus 4 heads, and then you masterwork the plus 4 heads, what is it like going to be? 800% more damage on the Hydra? That's the kind of plan. But we're not going to do this. First, we're going to do a Spiritborn. Because we're going to pretty much go for our Spiritborn from last season. 1-to-1, copy that. No differences. And we will focus on trying the new pants. Because this character actually get a cool new pants. Okay, I'll show you the pants. We need class-specific uniques. Wait, let's first put all these away. Don't need them right now. Class unique cache. Okay. So we need to get the pants. They're called Balazan's Max Ladle. Each attack damages close enemies for 260% of your thorns and also does 100% of this damage as poisoning over 3 seconds. Each time you retaliate with thorns for 5 seconds, the poisoning damage is increased by 100% up to 300%. So that's technically the pants you want to have. There's also 4 ranks to Bastion. What is Bastion's skill again? That's technically useless because it gives you only more thorns, but it doesn't hurt. So you want to have this. We need Loyalty's Mantle, but this one, it would be better in upgraded. And we need the Razor Blade. Oh shit, I actually do need the generic unique once in a while. I'm gonna use the Thorns chest. My friend, yes. The problem is we can't get the Thorns chest in fully upgraded right now. So we're gonna have to try to find this one here in Greater Affixed. You want this one to hit the Thorns, I guess. Right? Yep, 6 Bastion. That's the best outcome that you could have had there. Then I need boots that have maximum life, dexterity, and armor. So we're gonna take Obolds now. Always take Obolds to gamble, and we need Sepasontak. I forget about Sepasontak, Chan. So we're gonna gamble for boots quickly. Oh, I'm not in Torment 4. Oh, it's a bummer. Why they limit the stash tabs? The reason why they limit the stash tabs is because the game is shoddily coded and you're actually loading the stash of all people that you meet. So if you meet someone, your computer loads their stash. That's why it also comes to lags when you actually meet people. Now you would say, wow, that's crazy. Why would this happen? Well, I don't know why this would happen, but that was literally the way how the game was handled. I would heavily assume that that is still the case and nothing has changed about this. So you're still loading the enemy's stashes. And that's why we're not getting more tabs. I know that's stupid and like we're really unhappy about this, but welcome to the danger zone, I guess. Current all uniques, current all uniques, current all uniques. Oh, he didn't do it. Doesn't always do it. I need quarterstaff, quarterstaff, quarterstaff. There's 3 quarterstaffs, but I need obviously a Sepasontak. Oh, that's a good Sepasontak, slightly nerfed, but it'll do the trick, I guess.
What will it be?
So we get this masterwork. Yep, great. Lucky hit chance twice. That's exactly what we want. That's truly what we want. That's the best outcome possible. We're so relieved that we actually get these things. Wow, this is so useful. I'm totally not like weirded out by this. Oh, the noise is still good. I need 2 attack speed rings. Okay, we need rings with attack speed, Chan. In this case, it might actually be simpler to get the stashes. Yeah, wait a second. It might be critical chance, critical. Oh shit, I need to actually get critical chance and attack speed. Yikes. Yep. Because else I'm not going to be at 100% crit anymore. I completely forget that we're not going to be sitting at 100% crit, right? Like, I'm so used to just being at 100% crit that I didn't actually think about it. We're not going to be sitting at that. That makes me sad. But can I actually get attack speed? No, I can't get. No, I should be able to get attack speed. Yeah. I can get attack speed and crit chance. Thank you very much. Equipment, random legendaries. Helm, pants, polearm ring. Helm. No amulet? Oh, that was a lot of helmets. Amulet. That's a lot of helmets. Another amulet, another ring, another ring. Okay, ring, banana phone, amulet.
Not ready yet.
Have you had a chance to check out the evade build with the new amulet? Oh, I have no interest with on the evade build. It's like I have certain interests, and like it's not always the cool builds, right? Ponyhoff often ends up doing niche builds because I really just like doing niche builds. So there we go. I'm sorry. Truly. We often end up not trying out the hottest shit on the market because I just find it boring. I find the hottest shit on the market boring. Duelist. Good. This one is going to be Moonrise. That was nerfed. Right? Moonrise was nerfed, chat. So that's a 40% damage minus. Yep. So not everything got buffed. Like Rock Splitter in itself got buffed. But the actual aspect of the Moonrise got nerfed. So yay. Okay, attack speed bonus. We like that. This is going to be adaptability. Oh, we need to reroll the vulnerable damage first. Sorry. Into crit chance. Okay. Adaptability. Adaptability was also nerfed, but it's kind of good. But it's kind of bad, but it's kind of good. We're not going to do redirected force. We're going to do conceited for now. And this one is going to get, what was it called again? Plains power. Not sure if we want to do anything with poison right now, but we're like good off so far. Now let's put the skill points. Yes. My Spirit Hall is going to be Monkey together with Monkey. Sometimes you just got a double Monkey, Chad. Then we're going to be playing Skill Tree. We're going to do Rock Splitter. But it's not worth it to actually put the points in Rock Splitter. You would think that, right? But the damage gain is like so minuscule that is really not there. So you're just going to... basic skills allow me to do more damage. If I use my basic skill, this one is... double versus vulnerable. Vulnerable enemies do less damage. And I do more damage when I'm unstoppable. This one goes up. We get the toxic skin, but funnily we don't actually have to use the toxic skin anymore because this gives us passively Thorns damage dealt to poisoned enemies, but our pens are poisoning the enemies, so that's actually good. We get this one up, we get you up, we get you up, but we have a lot of, that's 1,000 Thorns bonus because of this. It's actually pretty nice. No, a lot of Thorns never hurts. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, even though it was nerfed. And then we still go for this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself... I'm just thinking, like, is there anything that is worth it to actually expand some points into? Whenever you heal, your poison damage is increased by 12%. Would it be worth it to increase my poison damage, considering that these does poison damage? I would just have to find a way how to heal, right? So this says whenever you heal, you do more poison damage. So I do 12% more poison damage, right? I just have to find a way to actually heal. How would I heal, John? How would we heal? Here, hitting enemies with ultimate skills heals you for 2% of your maximum life. I guess that counts as a heal. So as long as I use my ulti every 3 seconds, we're good. Or for 3 seconds, we at least get a boost. You know, I could heal myself with the power. That's actually worth it. I can heal myself with the power. That should work. Okay, let's assume this is the way. Okay, Chad. We get everything. We need to masterwork a lot. I don't have enough armor. I don't have a lot of life. I forgot my Paragon. I'm like, hey, why don't I have any armor or life? Well, Yeah, so have you heard about this thing called Paragon points, chat? No? Wild concept. Like, you use them to power your character. Crazy, I know. Happy to see you playing D4. I mean, we play D4 when there's something to be played in D4, and if there's nothing to be played, we do something else. I mean, I'm really excited for Elden Ring Night Reign, right? So we're gonna play now the D4 test server until Elden Ring Night Reign is out. Then we'll focus on Elden Ring Night Reign. Then we're gonna be focusing on Dune Awakening. Then after these two games, right, when we're done with these two games, there might be finally No Rest for the Wicked as the next ARPG. Then after No Rest for the Wicked, we might put our sights on... Colossal needs to go here. We might put our sights then on the actual seasonal release. So when the season is finally coming out, there's a lot of cool things right now brewing in the distance that I'm really looking forward to engage with. So quite excited. Spiny skin. Wonder how much thorns we're going to be getting. We already had like a significant amount of thorns before. This was hubris. Hubris. I went over this one. Text remain. This is cooldown reduction and max life, so you want to take every single one of them. And this is max life and thorns, so you want to take every single one of them, right? And that's actually armor and damage reduction. Okay. That brings us into the revealing board. Boop, boop. How can you speak English very well? It's years of training. If you stream for almost 12 years now, full time, you either become proficient at English or you suck. And you in between suck anyways because you're still not native. So no matter how hard you try, you'll never be native. So there will always be some sucking involved. But it gets less with the years, pretty much. Oh wow, we did this very efficiently. We barely any Paragon points invested. That being said, I actually missed the 5th board. Oops. Yeah, we did this very efficient. Like barely any Paragon points, chat. Barely. Okay, we got the Infighter. In case you wonder, this is pretty much my build from Season 8, 1-1. And we want to see how much the new pans are enabling the build and what we would have to change to maybe make the build even stronger. Because obviously the build was meant to just simply work with some overpowered damage and go crazy. And I'm not sure if a simple copying 1-1 into the poison build would do the trick. Or if you have to do something bonus, right? If we have to add some more shebang to it to really make it then excel. Can't say yet. Oh no. Okay, we got this. Now we're sitting at least at some armor. We still have so few life. I'm unsure why we have so few life. The pans are having maximum life as they should. The rings are having maximum life. Actually, we're missing maximum life on this and we're missing maximum life on that. Okay, so we're missing 2 maximum life stacks. That is something. We need to put some Horadrim jewels on. What can we take? I need to go for progression, equipment. And aspects, uniques. Do you not get all jewels? Chad, who? Oh, seasonal. Seasonal. And then jewels. Thank you. Then we need to upgrade this one with all stats, because the all stats on this one is actually necessary for reaching a lot of the golds in your Paragon tree. Because if you then have like all stats bonus, then you can rather get these 8% unlocked. That makes a big difference.
I can't use that.
Oh no. Oh no. That reminds me of something. I need D-Crab. D-Crab is being triggered by Moni. Then I need Zol. And then I need Zan. Wonder if the overpower is really worth it, or if I should just go for the 100% damage bonus. That's a big question. With the overpower nerf, it might be just better to play this with Quags and just burn through all my vigor. But it needs to be a non-basic skill. So much should limit Paragons to 260. Nope. I mean, I did not spend 53 points. That is Paragon 250. Kind of. Because you get 25 more points from actually the beginning on. So you have like, you know, you have 278 or so to spend on level 250. But yeah. There's anyways diminishing returns at some point. Okay, what are we taking? We get infusions are more potent. After you cast catalytic skills, gain primary resource. Catalysts do more damage. Damage over time. Actually, after you deal damage over time to an enemy, they take more damage over time forever, right? Isn't that good? Considering, and now let's don't call me crazy, but this says each attack close does 100% of this as poison damage over 3 seconds. Each time you retaliate with Thorns, you do even more poison damage, right? So we actually poison a lot. Is it not worth then to go for the rune that gives technically more poison, like more and more and more and more and more? Technically, yes, right? Yeah, poison damage over time, exactly. After you cast catalytic skill, after you injure. This would actually be useful if I could trigger this with an ultimate. We could do 20% more elemental. Wasn't there one that worked with Thorns together? Wait, while you have 2 or more Arcana from School of Denial equipped, gain 30% more Thorns. Ooh. Yikes. Yikes. That's actually really good. Let's get more core stats. Okay, so I need 2 or more Arcana from the School of Denial equipped. So I'm going to use Astro Pillar for now. On my basic skill, Rock Splitter. And then we need School of Denial. Where does it say Denial? This is Arcana Power. This is Denial. So I need Denial. Okay, once per enemy every 5 seconds, your catalyst will fortify and heal you. That would be bonus heal, by the way. Yeah, we actually do need heal. We don't need the fortify. We don't need the barrier. We don't need the resistance. We don't need stealth. Power, power, power. Denial would be destroys enemy barriers and knocks them down. That would actually be useful. Your catalyst implies vulnerable. You know what? I need a source of vulnerable very easy because I don't do any vulnerable. And then we need denial. Does catalyst on a basic skill not work? No, need infusion. So that's, wait, that's denial, denial, yeah. And then we're gonna have it do poison damage actually, right? So that's good.
Not ready yet.
Now let's go into Torment 3 first before we go into Torment 4, because it's like that's more reasonable. Right? We gotta do that first. I need to buy myself a potion. And we'll masterwork things up further. This is definitely a build I would not play as my first build of this season. Keep that in mind, okay? 100%. Not something I would ever consider doing as a first timer. I need lair boss materials. Lair keys. Thank you very much. Not sure if Quack still would be better. Good evening from Maui. Shadows, so good to see you there, partner. Hope you're doing well. Cheerio. So the plan is that our poison damage would do a lot of poison, obviously.
Need more time.
This did do 50 billion hits. Okay, keep in mind, chat, this did do 40 to 50 billion hits easily on live server. Okay, just so you have that in your mind. Because we were like overpowering like mad, okay? I mean, we don't have any tempers yet. Can we feel any damage over time? This problem, I can't really gauge how much damage over time we're doing right now. Okay, we just suddenly did a big hit. I mean, it's definitely weaker than before. Let's try to see some numbers when we actually go for fighting. Let's try to see some numbers that we could actually see the damage over time. Because, like, we get a notice. How can we try Season 9? You need to have the game on Battle.net. If you don't have the game on Battle.net, you can't try Season 9. Okay, we'll make a boss dummy. So we're gonna beat away at it, right? We're gonna activate all our things. We're gonna just do bop. So there was a 4 billion hit, by the way. It's possible with a Zan rune, 2 billion hit. Look, there takes poison damage for at least 30 million, so not bad. Like, considering that this is on top of what we're doing anyways, that's kind of like there. See, like, we do big hits, but not the big hits that we're used to. So again, I do billions of hits. Let's try to get another Quox rune, because I think with another Quox rune, we might potentially do more damage. Is Season 9 out? No, this is the test server, my friend. Equipment, runes, invocation. Quox. What's the difference between Quox and Zan? So Zan makes us overpower, okay? And Quox gives us 100% bonus damage. Now, the thing is that Quox is easier to activate. Because Zen costs, this is 400 offering, and I think that, no, this is actually 300 offering, this 400 offering. Which would take me one more to activate, but it should still work because it's going to overactivate and it should lead to more damage. So now we got to see if it actually does lead to more damage. A straight 100% increase. Let's see if we actually do see the big number bangers. We see a billion hit or not. I mean, Quox would increase our poison damage because I do 100% more damage actually makes the poison go higher. You might see the poison tick in the middle. The poison ticks now for up to 200 million. That's kind of nice. Wonder if this one is now, like, how if this is faster against Belial or not. I do believe in order to really make the Poison Thorn Spiritborn excel, I need to rethink a lot of things, because I need to probably lean more into the poison damage over time, right? So instead of like trying to, this is the problem. So it says each attack damages close enemies for 300% of your thorns, and also deals 100% of this damage as poison over 3 seconds. Okay. Each attack damages close enemies for 300% of your thorns. And also does 100% of this damage as poison. So only the thorns do poison damage, correct? So this literally means the more thorns I have, the more poison damage I deal. Is that understood? Was trying Death Trap. Death Trap should still work, AM, the same as Blood Wave still works. They're just literally weaker. Oh, we're actually killing him faster. Chat, we're killing him faster than before because our poison damage is now higher. So the Quox Rune in this case is actually better than the Overpower, because the Quox Rune would activate the poison damage. I would probably have to play a Who then. Yeah.
Not ready.
I mean, the Overpower allows us to do bigger hits, but this does more DPS now. Interesting. The question rather is, so it says casting Gorilla Skills deals thorns to enemies, right? Which is nice. But with this already dealing damage to enemies, you would probably be better off if you actually go for Jack, because it says every 15th time you deal direct damage to an enemy with Jack skills, unleash an additional strike, dealing 15% of the damage you have dealt to them in the last 0.5 seconds. If you actually go for the Jack into the gorilla down there, right? We should technically end up with a poison with more damage, shouldn't we? No, I'm not getting barrier right now, so I need to substitute for my not having a barrier. Because that makes life harder. Actually, interesting, Gorilla was doing more damage right now, even though I would assume that this should do more damage once I get the barrier back, because we're missing the barrier multiplier right now. We probably have to play like a, what's it called again? We'll probably have to play a, the barrier power here. Could I play the... Which is the barrier with denial? No, no. Oh, no, here. Okay, invoking grants you a barrier. Okay. Denial. Good. Test then. Gorilla ulti with good to the Yara's crazy amount of barrier. Yeah, but you don't need it. That's the whole point. Why would you go for it if you don't need it, right? So like right now with the Horadrim powers, I would have the barrier going on. Oh, I get stuck. Right now with the powers, you have the berry going on. This build is you're getting into after getting a 4G razor plate. Exactly. You would not play this build without a big razor plate, right? So right now I don't have a G8 razor plate, but a G8 razor plate makes so much difference because I obviously get 30% more thorns due to a Horadrim power. I mean, 30% more thorns is nasty. Yeah, this is more damage now. Oh, this is more damage now. Okay, that works quite nicely. You saw we played Protector before, Will. That's the thing. We played Protector before. That's why we're playing this now, right? We wanted to test how it would actually feel. The thing is, we're currently only in Torment 3, so that's obviously a bit weak. Because you don't want to be in Torment 3, you want to be in Torment 4. That was also the problem with the build, or the problem in last season, that it was like strong, but just not like super strong. Could we use this actually? Hitting enemy with centipede skill. Centipede skill is not really worth it, right? Do more poison damage. Is there any aspects that would interact more with poison and thorns? What else do we have? Just to check, Thorn, we get the Bruiser's aspect, which is increased armor and thorns per 1% missing life. That's kind of useless. You get payback, which is not worth it. You have Thorns damage. No, it's also not worth it. Enemies who move while poison take of your damage. Yeah, so that's funny, but it's not useful. What do we have poison-wise? I don't think we have anything poison-wise that works. Infestation is the Swarms. Then you poison have a reduced healing and skills. No, also not. So not really anything, Nah. Did they fix Protector's Thorns damage on live server? Currently it doesn't work correctly and it's like dealing 1/3 of the damage. We're not really using Protectors. We always just use Razor Blade. It's more than enough. By the way, we haven't masterworked much, so there's definitely a ceiling further upwards, right? Especially if you masterwork now the amulet here. What do we have? We would go for resource. Oh, you don't have the resource aspect. You don't have the offensive aspects as well. Is it because he ate all the Spiritborn? I think he ate all the Spiritborn tempers. Equipment. No. Progression. Rewards. Where are temper manuals, Chad? Ah, all temper manuals. Yeah, he doesn't open the temper manuals. Chan. The generic ones at least not. Okay, do we find any good builds? Necromancer is already doing good, sir. Okay, which one did we temper? We tempered, like, potency. It's called... Mystic Circle Potency is what you're tempering. Seems so weird, but it's, like, really what you want. Mystic Circle Potency, and then also the Hunter cooldown. As I said, the Hunter cooldown, Chad. So now, since we have totally gotten the Hunter cooldown, right? This is like your single-handed biggest damage increase because you're getting the dexterity up, so that makes you more powerful, right? I wonder if... What do we have? Strength is 2 close targets. Dexterity is Eagle. That is Mystic Circle Potency, but it was never worth it, sadly. We have Storm Feathers. We have Incarnate. Do you have bonus poison damage with something? It's Jaguar skills. I know. Lightning damage, critical damage. Damage with Centipede kills. Pestilent Swarms damage. But no real... No, actually, you have increased poison damage. And poisoning damage effects have a chance to deal double the amount of poison damage over their duration. Wouldn't that be what you want? Correct me if I'm wrong, but should I not kick out the Colossal? No, not Colossal. I should kick out... outmatch. And probably play Bane. Because if my poison effects have a chance to deal double damage, wouldn't that be highly efficient for what I do?
Not ready yet.
Any OP builds, Hydra sorc is going to be really nice, and we're going to do Hydra sorc today. Hydra sorc is so much fun because it just simply works. Okay, that was a 300 million Thorns damage take. That's kind of cool.
Need more time.
Oh wow, he had a billion. He had a billion damage take. But where was the billion normal damage coming from? Did I just see that wrong, or? Oh. I'm trying to get a razor blade with a greater affix, like this. Have you tried Barbarian yet? Nope. Barbarian is going to be basic attack build skill thingy. Okay, let's see. Okay, we do a lot of Thorns damage. I mean, look at that. He's getting beaten up by Thorns damage overload. So all the white damage is Thorns damage, okay, chat? All the white damage is the Thorns damage from Belazan's Max Ladle. And we don't even have a maxed out Belazan's Max Ladle, which is actually kind of telling. We try to get a 300% one. I mean, this is doing like decent damage. Let's teleport out. Okay, let's kick all damage out. Wait, we're gonna do one thing. We're gonna boost our main stat. So give me a second. We're gonna have to boost our main stat because the biggest damage booster that Thorns have is just having more dex. Sounds so stupid, but the more dex you have, the more all multiplier you have, and the better it just simply is, right? Problem is, it doesn't seem like that crit is the way to go. Well, actually, crit is the way to go. So the problem is, you kind of want to scale Thorns, right? But you also need to scale crit, because if you're not critting, then your Thorns is not doing enough damage. Because this says, each attack close enemies for 260 of your Thorns. But I think that can crit, right? The 260% of your Thorns should be able to crit. Okay, let's see to how much damage this leads, ladies and gentlemen. Boss dummy. So like, if that's just basic attack. Okay, I'm not doing anything else. I'm just spamming basic attack. That's good damage. And look, the damage over time is ticking for up to 25, 23. See, like, this is the damage over time ticks. So just basic attacks. Just with Thorns, nothing. Okay, then we're gonna get more ferocity. We're gonna get more Thorns. We're gonna cast an ulti. There was a billion Thorns damage. Another billion Thorns damage. I'm not sure how the scaling is coming together there, but it's happening. Also, the ticks are up to 300 million at times, so that's funny. So we can do 5 billion Thorns damage. It's just like the other build that we made with this, wholly unreliable. Like, it just happens at times, right? So you notice, like, we get like the tons of poison damage. So that's kind of working. I'm not sure if you want to lead more into the poison damage. Like, if there's something you could do to get even more out of it. I'm not sure if Touch of Death might. No, it doesn't really lead to anything, right? We can't really play the Devourer to get something out of that. We have the bonus poison damage by 12% if we heal, so that one is working. Oh, they're attacking me. These are the lads, chat, for my thingy. This is how the build works with multiple enemies. You mean when you play this in the pit? Well, the problem is I don't have a high pit tier to do yet. I'm sorry. So the highest pit we have is tier 40 right now. Sorry. So the way how this works, before we do this, let me like I've missed the temper for rock splitter size because like the thing is you're currently dealing damage to all close enemies. So as long as enemies are standing close, you do damage to all of them, okay? That's why everything even remotely together will just get minced beef. Don't forget that this has level 100 glyphs, and with this build, you would probably never have glyphs higher than 60. I mean, unless you really want to bang your head against the wall, but I did do like 50 billion hits with glyphs at 60 in the prior season, right? I do believe with some fine-tuning, this could be a Thorns poison build. I need to look more into the Thorns interaction with crit here and how the poison comes together. But having these poison stacks is nice.
Not ready.
Also, there's one thing you could think about, Chan. Okay? Let me show you what you could think about. Okay, so what you could think about is we play two things. Two things. Xanius, how is the PDR? Thank you for the 59 months, Xanius. Appreciate it dearly. You're the first sub today. Chat, if you did bring your subs, don't forget to use them. The PDR is good. The season 9 is a bit so-and-so. We have a feedback video on YouTube on that. It's fine-ish, but I think they need to put some more work in after the PDR for sure. Okay, we need to play the 30% more Thorns, okay? There's no question. We need the School of Denial Arcana. Then we have like School of Denial. We have School of Denial, right? We get 30% more Thorns. That's amazing. Then we also have, after you deal damage over time, an enemy, they take more damage over time forever. And lastly, we have a stat boost. That stat boost could also be... Wait. It's called... No, it wasn't in here. It was one of these. There's one that allows you to deal all your damage over time instantly, wasn't it? Here, damage from your catalyst has chance to deal 250% of your Thorns damage. Technically, you could play this one, but I just don't see how that's worth it because my lucky hit is 32%. But there was... What was there? Damage from Catalyst has up to an 80% chance to consume damage over time effects and deal 100% of their damage instantly. What I wonder is, can that crit? Right? Can that crit? But it says consume and do it instantly. Paganist. Now it just says damage from your catalyst has a chance to consume damage over time effects.
Need more time.
And it consumes damage over time effects and does it right away. So technically that boost, that blast should crit. Now I wonder if we can notice a DPS bonus. I remember we're doing quite some damage like of late already. Let's see what we end up with. And we don't get vulnerable right now. Oops. I need some lucky hit chance to make vulnerable. Not really more damage, right? Not really more damage right now. No. That wasn't impressive at all. Yeah, it's really lucky hit dependent. That's the problem, right? And we don't really do a lot of lucky hit. So if you have a high dot build, will that work, Liam? I mean, if you have a Shadow Necro, it could work. The problem is this is antithetical to actually playing dot builds. Because with dot builds, you kind of want to stack them and you have all the damage over time bonuses, but you don't actually have a one-time bonuses, right? So I'm not sure how useful it really is. If it will ever be useful. Who knows? That being said, the build is definitely working, so we can use this. We just have to fine-tune it and now figure out which tempers would be best. Is it still Mystic Circle potency? Should you try to temper, I don't know. Is there poison damage tempers? Should you do poison damage tempers? Because what's more efficient? Is it more efficient to have your each attack damages close enemies for your Thorns damage, right? And deals 100% of the damage as poison damage. So this is kind of like capped with your Thorns, right? You cannot make it higher unless you have your Thorns higher and you crit your Thorns. Yeah, Thorn scale of dex. You definitely want to have as much dex as possible, especially with the double stat booster because you're going from 2,000 to 4,500. If you do everything right, you could actually get like 5,500 dex, and that would be amazing. That's why you also do need dex everywhere. And the more dex you have, the more crit you get. It's also something to consider, right? Because your crit chance is getting increased. No, that was dodge chance, not crit chance. Dodge chance will get increased. Thanks. What's Season 9 about? Horadrim spells. These spells here. Okay, that was Spiritborn. Now let's do a jump over to the Hydra sorc. And I know nothing about the Hydra sorc. I know generally how it works and what you have to do, but I really haven't looked too much into it, so we're gonna have to like freestyle wing a lot here. I know there is some scaling with like maximum resource, but I'm not entirely sure how that scaling comes together. So we'll have some experimentation on our hands today, as I'm truly entirely unsure how to scale this. That is my weird ass overpower that we don't need. Give me at least a half decent staff. Here. Okay, the main thing you need for this build is the temper, again, that we didn't get last time, 4 Hydra heads. Okay, chat? You're not getting 4 Hydra heads, you're going home. And it seems like that the 4 Hydra head temper is impossible to get. This is already the second staff I'm about to ruin. Okay. Chat, Hydra head tempers do not exist, it seems. Let's get some obolds together and try to gamble some greater affix staffs. Any love for druids? Sadly, druids did get not too much love. There is some interesting druid variations, but the problem is that they do suffer from... yeah, but like the concept is not really... How do I say this now? Too impressive. Most of the druid concepts. Haven't seen a basic attack druid yet. Sorking, good to see you there. What's up? We are trying to get Hydra tempers, but Hydra tempers don't exist. Wait, seriously, you can't be this unlucky, Chad. Alright, it's almost like the Hydra tempers just simply don't exist on two-handed weapons. Right? I mean, I just tempered 14 times without seeing it a single time. That's intriguing. Oh, I am not in the... I'm in the wrong world. Yeah, I saw a streamer playing the new pulverized build was damage was horrible. The problem is that the new pulverized legendary, the new pulverized unique that supposedly makes pulverized OP, works every 10 seconds. Imagine having made a cool item, chat, that every 10 seconds does something. But that's it. It doesn't do anything more. It just does something every 10 seconds. And then it doesn't do anything. Yay. I'm just willing to take whatever I want just to right now get the Hydras. Oh, 4 Hydra hats. Ladies and gentlemen. It has happened. Ladies and gentlemen, it has happened. Okay, we also want Hydra damage. That Hydra damage is insane, multiplier-wise. Okay, and now you cannot masterwork this item. Oh, wrong item. Okay, we need to get the number of Hydra heads. Oh, look, chat. Look. Let's take the broken masterworks because the masterworks are truly broken. Okay, so we're sitting at 12 Hydra heads, which is impossible. You can't get 12 Hydra heads. But you know what 12 Hydra hats means, Chad? You know what that means? With this amulet, it's 12 times 100% more damage on the Hydra. Okay. Because why not? I don't care where the masterworks land. I just want to see this through. Okay, we need more core skills here. The Cedar bindings too. I'm still not sure why you play the actual conduit. It seems you only play it for the more resource. It's like weird. So you only play the actual conduit for resource generation and maximum, right? That's why you play it. But I'm just not sure why you actually play that. I need to still figure out how that actually works, because I haven't fully figured out how that actually works. Did you upload this build? I have uploaded non-builds, sir. I mean, these are all like test server builds, so they're prone to change. There's nothing about this that will evade grants, maximum charges. I need actually attacks reduce. See, that's what you need. Okay. Now this needs to get the Orange Herald. Why Orange Herald? Because that would be no, not yes, Orange Herald. Yeah. So we got Starless, we got the Amulet, we got Serpentine Aspect. What does Serpentine do, ladies and gentlemen? That is casting Hydra consumes all of your mana to increase its damage by... Ah, that's why you want to have more mana. Finally, I understand. Wow, that's actually huge. But how do you restore your mana? That's a bigger question. We would need a lucky hit chance to restore resource on our weapon. Otherwise, that wouldn't do it. Right? Okay, let's put some skill points in because we don't have any skill points spent yet. Ice blades. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Familiar. Place. And combustion? Yeah. Okay. Your burning effects deal increased damage. In addition of your burning damage and damage to burning target bonuses up to 100. Can't go higher. I think I have all the skills spent. Yep. Okay. Then in my skill bar, I would need... So we're going to summon Hydras on 2. Then we need the ultimate on 5. We need the teleport on right click. We need to be able to summon familiars. And we need to be able to summon ice blades whenever we can. And then we also have this. So we could play the... Frost Nova enchant, and we could play the Hydra enchant if you actually want to. But I'm not sure if that's actually what you want to do. Right? So it makes like no sense to do the Hydra enchant. You're gonna do Hydra, right? And then we have a lot of Hydras. Wait, no, it's spawning a bonus Hydra on top of the Hydras that we actually have. Interesting. That's a lot of Hydra damage. Hydra boys, Hydra boy. Hydra boy. Okay, so the damage is not there yet, chat, right? Today is the Dune livestream where they show mid to end game. Yes, I know. And the Dune livestream where they show mid to end game, I will also be there because I'm being sponsored to cover that stream for you, chat. So I can't actually wait to do this together with you, as I am myself interested in the Dune endgame, but I'm also being paid to show you the Dune endgame, so yay. Yay, chat. Double bonus. It's always fun if you're paid for something. But it's also not fun if you're not paid for something, don't get me wrong, but it's double fun. Okay, we need Frigid Fade. That would give us damage to vulnerable enemies, and our damage to vulnerable enemy multiplier would be high. Then we go for Pyromaniac Glyph. Pyro, because every pyromancy skill you cast every second, you channel Incinerate. Yeah, that's 18% more damage, so that should be possible to easily get off. Right? We need more willpower. That would be vulnerable damage. Damage reduction. Lucky hit and some life. Then we're moving into the, what is this? The Burning Instincts, because Burning Instincts would give us, your burning damage is increased by 20% of your damage by fire bonus plus 2% every 30 intelligence you have up to 90%. Should also do good with the Elementalist glyph. Elementalist would be fire cold mixed damage, and we kind of do this, right? In all the directions. Boop, 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 boop. That's damage reduction. Damage reduction while you're healthy. What was this one? This was damage reduction while healthy. So tons of damage reduction stacked. And then we also have Elemental Summoner. A 10% chance reduce cooldown or mana cost. They also do bonus damage equal to 10% of total. So it's another 60% damage. Like, I can see where all the damage is coming together now, right? If you put all of this together, it kind of makes sense where the damage actually comes from. And we can play the Flame Feeder glyph. Non-physical damage, as I don't deal any physical damage, right? We have bonus attack speed. Bonus attack speed would affect these summons significantly, because if they have bonus attack speed, they would just attack faster. Oh, who would have guessed? Wow, like 400 IQ, Chad. You know, if they have bonus attack speed, they attack faster. Like, Pearls of Wisdom dropping here, left, right, and center. Just saying. Fundamental release. So that's another damage multiplier. Together with the Torch glyph. Yeah. Interesting. The Torch glyph I never considered. So for every burning enemy, you would do more damage close by. But that's like such a... This is only good in the pit glyph, if that makes sense. Because if you don't have a lot of burning enemies close by, what is that glyph really doing for you? Nothing, exactly. Okay. How much damage would that be now? Did the additional Hydra head temper actually work? Seemed they still only have 3. Oh, no. You don't get more heads. You get more damage multiplier. For each head above 3 that it would have had, the Hydra is bigger and deals 92% more damage. You technically make tons of Hydras, and then they're supposed to, like, absolutely clap out damage-wise. And do they crit? That crit. I'm not sure for how much damage they actually crit. I mean, this is obviously me as someone who's not like super proficient with Hydra gameplay going like on them. I mean, this doesn't seem terrible, but it doesn't seem good as well yet. Let's go to Torment 3 and try to kill Belial and see just how much damage it actually does. Which powers would we add, Chan? Which powers? Poison. Together with Barrier and Fire Infusion on you just make the enemy vulnerable because I don't have anything to make vulnerable, right? And then here, more resource generation. So I'm just getting faster my resource back. Okay. Oh, we didn't put Horadrim jewels on too. Oopsie doopsie, ladies and gentlemen. We put on the jewels. What do we have? Seasonal. Give me the jewels, my friend. I mean, I'm a sorc, right? What are we going to do? We're going to take the one for more elemental damage, but we also take more damage, right? Here, this one that says you deal 20% more elemental damage, but you also take more elemental damage. I mean, there's no other question than the core stat booster and Barrier. Something in that direction. I'm going to swap over to Torment.
I'm not ready yet.
How does the Serpentine aspect work with the Inferno? Serpentine only works on Hydra. Casting Hydra consumes all your mana to increase its damage by 5% per mana consumed. So technically you want to have as much mana as possible, because if you have 200 mana, that is a lot of bonus damage your Hydra would get. And you always want to have full mana when you then summon the Hydra. So that's a little bit the plan there, right? Have full mana, summon Hydra, go bonkers. Have full mana, summon Hydra, go have full mana, summon, you know? So, see, like, we do the Hydra, right? Here, boom. And then we wait for our mana to regain, and then we do another Hydra. They get, like, the 200% damage bonus. And then we do another Hydra, and then we're just going to summon all our things. Okay, that damage was nasty. I did not expect, like, to... I did not expect that damage. Actually, like, I don't understand. I partially don't understand why this just happened, where the damage came from, right? Because I haven't seen any billions. I genuinely, like, where, you know, where did that damage just come from? I mean, obviously that was only Torment 3 Belial, right? That wasn't even Torment 4 Belial. So let's do it like this. Let's put some more intelligence gems in. We haven't even used our runes yet, because the runes can also be used probably for quacks to snapshot. Because if I snapshot the quacks into a Hydra, the Hydra would do another 100% bonus damage, which actually would be nasty, I think.
I need time to prepare that.
I wonder how Hydras will handle large AoE like hordes or dungeons. We can try that out in a jiffy. Don't worry. We can try that out in a jiffy. So this is why you're playing this one, chat. Resource generation maximum. It can be 63.4%. And a greater affix, you could get, like, what, 80% more mana? That you end up with 300 mana, so it would be 300 times 5% more damage. Yeah, that's 1,500% more damage on top of all the bonus damage that the Hydras are getting anyways. That's kind of nice. It was kind of nice. I mean, plenty clunking nasty. What the fuck? Summon a Hydra. Summon a Hydra. Summon a Hydra. Summon a Hydra. Again, I kind of, like, didn't expect this damage outcome, right? And I expected to do some damage, but not, like, all the damage. So this is especially from someone who doesn't play sorc much, and I could just put these item pieces together and make it work, right? Chat? So this is coming, like, here really from someone who's, like, I know what sorc can do, but I'm obviously not the most proficient sorc player. So what could we do? We could do Zol and Zan, maybe? So to force an overpower? Would a forced overpower work, chat? Let's actually watch this. What if I now go for options, gameplay, show only overpower damage, okay? Then we would go for the Zan rune. Zan? Shit, I don't have Zan. Your mom? Sorry. Neo? Tech, Selvex, Lum, Quake, Q, Quacks. Does anyone see Zen or am I blind? Garton Yule. I'm not. You gotta be there somewhere. I know you're here somewhere. You little shit. So, I don't see it, chat. Did you see it? Standing on it? No, there's Zan, but there's Zan. Okay, we take... Zan is right next to Zan, yeah. I got out Zan there. So the plan is that here, overpower, and then we would play Neo. Avoid health damage. So you would avoid health damage, and then every 4 seconds, we would get an overpower. I guess that would kind of make sense.
I'm not ready yet.
How are you so OP, Sis Solo? I mean, this is season 9, first and foremost. Okay, this is season 9. And this is also a very maxed out character that has like everything going on for it. How are we so OP? It's literally that this is a maxed out character that has like everything possible multiplicative going for it. I also did not spend all my 300 Paragon points, and all my glyphs are 100 because it's the test server, my friend. Main reason why your character doesn't feel OP is probably that you're missing some multipliers. Often you're not bad. You're just missing some understanding or some bonus knowledge on how to even scale your damage further, right? We missed lair boss keys, so I can do this more often. Lair. Thank you. So we're gonna go in the pit in a second because I also want to see how this plays in the pit, and you wanted to know how this plays in the Infernal Horde. So I guess we should do Infernal Horde first. That's actually a good point. My only issue I have right now is, chat, what do we do? Okay, so right now with this build, we're a bit stuck. What does stuck mean? Well, I summon my Hydras and that's it, right? My Hydras are lasting for how long are they lasting? It actually doesn't say. Right? Has anyone seen any overpower damage? Because I haven't. I'm supposedly able to do overpower damage. I didn't see a single overpower. Maybe I'm just blind. Even though we have forced overpowers, so can my Hydras not hit for overpowers? Then we need a Quox rune. You didn't turn it on? No, I turned it on.
I need time.
Then we need to try out the Quox rune, even though that could backfire hardcore, because the Quox rune would be another drain on my resource. Because right now, I obviously need to drain my resource, and I need to drain my resource, and I need to drain my resource. I could also just get more ranks into Hydra. So I guess more core skill ranks is actually nice, because currently we're sitting at what? We have a 13 Hydra ranks, and every... No, actually 13. Like, Hydra ranks are useless, because they don't really give much. Interesting. I thought they were going to be useful, but it's actually kind of disappointing. Okay, we do this. We do that. Oh, there's billions damage, chat. So the Quox rune already worked. Because what does the Quox rune do? So the Quox rune makes all my Hydras that exist right now, as soon as it triggers, they do 100% more damage, okay? So the whole idea behind this is that we just have the Hydras out, okay? And then when we casting a skill other than a basic skill or defensive consumes all of your primary resource to increase your damage up to 100% for 1 second. Uh-huh. So if we do this right now, correctamundo, then we're suddenly getting, boom, all the Hydras that are out. Like, right, we have this Hydra out and we have this Hydra out, and they're eternally boosted, right? And then they they rapid fire for billions. Yep, kind of works. Okay, you wanted to know how do Infernal Hordes work. Let's open up an Infernal Horde key, a 8er, not a 10er. And the problem will probably be having to resummon them. I can't... We'll see if there's a real problem. Like, probably not pulling together things. There's billion damage hit, so I gotta go over. Then I'm gonna summon here 2 new ones, right? They're gonna kill everything. I'm gonna summon a new one. Go over, summon a new one. You know what you could take? You could take walk around for bonus damage. You know the rune that says travel? Because I'm traveling the whole time, dude. I could get so much offering for just running circles. Because that's what you do, right? I put down these lovely little Hydras, and that's then it. And I'm just chilling like a villain, so I'm just running circles like I have no business of being here. Interesting. I mean, it doesn't do it bad, and I'm also never in danger of dying in any way, right? The problem is basically to get this build work, like this is not a beginner build, right? Because you need the amulet, you need the temper, you need the extra conduit, you need the seed of bindings, you probably need a Harlequin crest because the Harlequin crest would be great for maximum resource. So, like, I'm not sure how strong a budget version of this would actually be, because like you already need the amulet, greater affixed, and with like 100%. If the amulet is not 100%, then it's obviously bad because that's where all your damage essentially comes from, right? So like this build, it feels like a build like it's not a first character thing again. But maybe I'm just wrong, and it could be a first character thing. So I'll definitely try to do this here. Like, you could do Blizzard and then transition into this, I guess. Yeah, you level with Blizzard and then transition into this, or Incinerate and then level, yeah, or something like that, right? Seems to work well enough. A lot of the creators were like, it's funny, chat. Okay, so you know that there's a stark disconnect between creators and players, okay? And in the creator Discord this morning, I saw a discussion of sorcerers saying that this build is boring to play. Because what are you doing? You're summoning Hydras and then you're running in a circle, right? You have nothing to do because your damage is your Hydras and you're not doing anything as the sorc. So you really just do the Hydras. But considering, like, I don't know, like, I think this is only boring when you do high pit levels. Because now imagine doing a high pit level with this. That would mean I would, like, run in circles, summon my Hydras, and then just wait for my Hydras to kill something while I just make sure that my summons are up. Because that's what you're doing. Like, you're making sure to maintain these 10 summons that you're like getting the maximum damage multiplier, right? But I genuinely don't see how this is actually boring, because I just summon my Hydras and then I run in circles and I just have a good time. So it's like a micro unintensive build. I think if you're not playing sorc a lot. So this is important. If you're playing sorc a lot, you're used to be like, like, right? That's you playing sorc. Like, okay, lightning spear, lightning spear, lightning spear, lightning spear. That's sorc gameplay. And now you're like, so listen, in order to play this build, you're gonna press Hydra, then Blades, Familiar, Hydra. teleport. And then you're gonna run in circles and play Hydra. So, and then you're gonna teleport, and then you press Hydra, and Hydra, and Familiar, and Blades. And then teleport, and Hydra, and Hydra. And that's it, right? So naturally, sorc players were known for their 5 billion APM gameplay. They've pretty much not played minion Necro then. Exactly. This is like, for me as a Necro player, for me as someone who has played minion Necro, this is like, I'm in heaven, right? I've summoned my dudes do tons of damage. This is like really cool. If I now had a skill to pull things together, I actually do have a skill to pull things together. It's even better. I mean, if you get a Harlequin crest with a greater affix to cooldown reduction and then actually masterwork the cooldown reduction, you're gonna have your Infernal also relatively low cooldown, so that's kind of nice. I mean, I could even play with runes to actually make the Inferno go low cooldown because I have summons. So you know what you could, you know what you could do, Chad? Watch me. Watch me. No kissing. Do you prefer D4 or PoE 2? So I play PoE 2 when I want to challenge Snake. And I play D4 when I just want to have stupid fun. And obviously I don't always want to challenge, right? Sometimes challenge gets boring. Same as, I don't know, always having the same dinner with your mom, right? Sometimes you gotta turn it around and do some other things. So what did I wanted to do? Yeah, I wanted to go for...
I cannot use that.
Nagu. Nagu. Do I have Nagu? Thank you. Nagu says have active summons, and I have active summons. And then we could go for cooldown, ultimate. Ta-da. What happens now is that every 6 seconds you get a chunk of cooldown reduction for your ultimate. And now let's pay attention to our ultimate cooldown, okay? So we're gonna do the teaming mouses for the lords. We do the ultimate. What's the cooldown here? See, boom. Did you see that chunk go down? Where it suddenly just lost like 8 seconds of his cooldown, just vanished, right? Definitely have to keep this for the bosses, I think. And that's where the Nagu rune just kicks in heavily, right? And you just have more of the ulti than you would usually have. I mean, this build is great, honestly. But I'm not gonna say sorc main because I definitely gonna play minion Necro, right? But this is actually more fun to play than minion Necro because the Hydras are just cool. What I like about the build is how stupid it is, right? Like how stupid the actual functionality that more Hydra hats is more damage. So you're gonna try to get as many Hydra hats as possible, right? And then having maximum resource, but also restoring maximum resource is giving you like more Hydras. And again, like a lot of the damage is right now coming from summoning Hydras while you're at maximum resource. And if I now get an actual conduit as a greater affix, I could be sitting at 300 mana. I'm pretty much missing like 500% possible damage. And I wish that was a joke, right? Oh no, Pony, 500% damage missing. Ooh, nah. The actual 500% damage missing, I'm sorry, is what it is. Not making up the numbers on the fly as we go. It's just like, you know, it's just that. But I'm pretty sure we can see Mr. Makuna or someone come up with a cool version of this build. But I can actually see all the hardcore sorc players not playing this build because it's boring for them. You know, I can see all the hardcore sorc players just saying, you know what, this ain't it. I'm so used to my 5,000 APM gameplay that I really can't do this. Wave timer is, by the way, working, ladies and gentlemen. So wave timer working. Ether timer working. Use Flicker Staff for evade. You could get constant ultimates. I don't think we even need that. You have the rune, like, to easily facilitate your evades. You have the Orange Herald, so we also have the aspect of the Orange Herald, guys. You know what I should use? I should probably use the tether for billions of, for millions of damage tethering. Now, on the one hand, it feels like we're getting overwhelmed because my Hydras are not attacking everything at the same time. But on the other hand, I'm like not taking a single damage point. So if you wonder, am I ever like in danger of dying? No, I'm not. And I could probably kick a lot of like here max life out to get, I don't know, more int somewhere. This is working plenty fine. Not sure if we need the Frost Nova one. So Frost Nova makes enemies vulnerable, increase the damage they take from you by 15% for 4 seconds, increases by bosses. Your conjuration skill have a chance to unleash your Frost Nova when hitting enemies. Is that really worth it, or should we do something else? I'm taking votes, Chad. So the Hydra conjuration makes sense because we're just getting more Hydras, and it's actually really fucking funny to do that. But would there be any use of like doing another one? Fireball? Nah, we don't really need Fireball for the explosion. I can't see that. Maybe... Every 8 seconds, a serpent spawns and incinerates enemies for 8 seconds. Nah, it's kind of like... The bonus burning is not needed. I mean, I could spawn firewalls. I just wonder what's really worth it, right? I mean, there's nothing where I'm like, I need this, right? I need this. I don't actually need this. I guess I could do the evade teleport thingy. This test for season 9, yes. Teleport turns evade into TP. Yeah, I thought about it. But let's try Fireball for a second. I just want to see how Fireball is going to feel. Okay. I don't think we will need it. But never say never, chat. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just bonus area effect, right? Bonus area effect never hurts. I'm just happy with the mana restoration. Like, I can pretty much just, like, put a Hydra with fully mana out every single time. So is this going... I feel like this is going somewhat smoother clear-wise. Not much, but like maybe just a little bit because enemies are exploding. Not that elites are dying faster. I think Rabble is potentially dying faster. Oh, you know what would be better? I didn't actually think about it because I'm like a little Dumbo, Chad. I'm a little Dumbo. You want to know what would be better? Hey, chat, you want to know what would be really better for this? Can you imagine what I did wrong? Okay, I'm like a little riddle, chat. So we're right now using Neo. Neo says avoid health damage while fighting for 2 seconds, and then you get 100 offering, or actually 200 offering. And then there's also the rune that we wait for 6 seconds with our summons, and we get 600 offering at 5 seconds for 600. Okay, what did I forget? What could be better? Oh, Death Type Rogue will still be good at Tursus. Definitely. Bloodwave is also still good. Okay, Bloodwave is good. But hell with the mana regen, this one here, Actual Conduit. You have 50% resource generation and 50% maximum mana. So we're currently sitting at like mana generation like way more. That we just like everything just kicks in like crazy. This is also giving you maximum resource, so that's double useful. So you know what we should go for? We should go for Puck. Puck says spend 5% of your maximum resource for 5 offering. But I'm always spend 400% of your maximum resource. So the thing is, we're just refilling my globe like there's no tomorrow, right? Use Rainman. Rainman should be more damage than what we're getting here right now. That's true. Rainman is definitely an option. I just have Shroud of False Death on. So the thing is, right now with the here, see, like we would spend our resource globe and then we would just get a lot of offering. I'm not sure if that would actually be faster than the Neo rune, right? My damage is nice. I'm not sure if this will turn out better than Neo. I really can't guess. Finally, I got myself... I just came here for the Scroll of Restoration. I didn't want anything else. I want the Scroll of Restoration. Then we get out of here. So what do we think is more efficient, guys? That or something else? Technically, we spend a lot, right? But Neo seemed to be a bit faster, sadly. Where did my Neo go? There my Neo went. Also, we don't need anything for mana regen, so we have enough mana regen. What we would need is an actual conduit with a greater affix to resource generation. That's it, right? How much more resource generation would that be? You want to see? Chat, you want to see what's possible? So, what do you like the most from what you have seen so far? I showed you today Bloodwave is still working. I showed you today the Sorceress, and I showed you a Poison Spiritborn. I gotta say that the Sorceress is the most fun I've had, personally. Have you figured out how bad they're going to nerf the OP damage as of yet? Yes. Before we continue with this, let's quickly jump over to this character. So that is my Spiritborn. That's my Necro right now as a Bloodwave Necro, just as a comparison. Okay. And we haven't masterworked anything, so we can actually go and masterwork some stuff here right now. So just some basic stuff, so we can actually like just see like some more power. Okay, so this is just some masterwork stuff. That's like here, 17,000 life. I drink a potion. We're sitting at 20,000 life. We're going for a tier 4 Belial. We all know, usually Bloodwave Necro, tier 4 Belial. I'm going to press that button 2 or 3 times and I win. Right? That's it. Like no questions asked. Just spam that button, right? We're also using Horadrim spells, currently the Astral Pillar, and the Astral Pillar gives us even more resource generation, so I can actually use things more. So we're probably not doing the maximum we could do with this, so. Wee! Movement speed galore! So there, a couple of 2 billions, a couple of 3 billions, a couple of 4 billions. I think the highest we've seen, like, they're 11 billion. Ta-da. You get runes missing. Oh, yeah, I have runes missing, but it's just about, like showing what's possible, like, right? So the Bloodwave is still strong. But it's just like, with this equipment, the Bloodwave would usually do like 20, 30, 40, 50 billion already. right? So it's pretty much that the nerfs were to the ceiling, but not to the baseline. And I think this is okay. I mean, like, if Bloodwave would be any weaker, like, there would be even no reason to play it, right? The reason to play Bloodwave is because it can do this incredible fun damage, right? If it wouldn't do this incredible fun damage, why even bother? Because the build is, generally speaking, a slow build. I can only do a Bloodwave every X seconds, and, like, if I couldn't... By the way, we're also missing damage while healthy multipliers. So, like, if I want to... Wait, if I want to go out of the window... Where's healthy? Healthy. I'll actually pick these quickly up. Okay. And the damage while fortified. Damage while fortified. So now the Bloodwave is sitting at 150% damage multiplier, because this is like the base damage multiplier that you pretty much have from the blood things, right? So you want this. All right, I don't know if I can get any more damage. I guess I gotta temper a damage while healthy quickly. Give me a second. We're gonna temper that. That's not too bad. After the death chat, they made it seem like the sky was falling. This was always expected, that we would end up roundabout where we are here right now. But obviously, like, who wants to end up here? Okay, let's do offensive. What do I want? I want damage while... Do I even have damage, fortified damage? Is there... I don't know, damage while fortified here. Temper that. Oh my goodness, I need the scroll of restoration from the sorc. Where's my sorc? I need the scroll of restoration already. You try Shadow Mages? Yes, I tried Shadow Mages and they're great. The Hand of Nas is fantastic. There are a lot of multipliers that are not multiplying correctly, but if you wanted to play a full minion build with Army of the Dead and Shadow Mages, tens of billions of damage. Out of the house. Boom shakalaka ding dong. Very easy. So we did that yesterday, and it just feels good. Generous, I'm also happy that Death Trap Rogue is still good, because it should still be good. I mean, imagine it not actually being good. Okay, ring. Did I just get like one tempering back? Cannot be used this item until all tempering charges have been used. Wait, what? What, Chad? I can just restore one temper charge like this on the item until I get to... That's weird. I only need damage while fortified to get the multiplier up. Could you get me damage while fortified? No, you can't get me damage while fortified. Let's see if I can use this on... Yeah, I can also not use it on the item. I can actually use this on nothing. So weird. Okay, damage while fortified. Could you give me damage while fortified? No? No? Honestly, the RNG of like, the RNG of this has never felt worth, right? It's always like, it's like just down the drain. Okay, well, we at least put this up to 120, why was it 121%? It was just 150% a second ago. That makes absolutely no sense, guys. Why that bonus went down. It is what it is. Return back to Belial. I mean, with that multiplier to 200%, we'll do more damage. Do I not have a like a? Can I not be complicated? Wait. Let me be complicated for a second here. I'm gonna kick Abyssal out. I'm gonna be kicking Abyssal out, and we're gonna get. we not have like weren't you having damage while fortified as a as a rune? Am I just remembering this bad? I'm pretty sure we had a damage while fortified, desecrated, shadow damage. Here, no, for every willpower, yeah, damage while fortified. Thank you very much. I'm not that crazy. Some crazy, but not that crazy. So I remembered that correctly. Somewhat correctly. So with all this damage while fortified, we can push this up almost to 200%. Thank you very much. Almost. And now let's see what we end up with damage-wise. The new Necro gloves are fantastic. They still need to take the teleport out of the Necro gloves because that teleport from the Necro gloves is quite useless. But all in all, the Necro gloves are they're just great. I love them. Okay. Where are we testing Bloodwave Necro? Because Bloodwave Necro is still the easiest one to put together. And you will probably still want to play this until you have all the pieces for the Minion Necro. By the way, Minion Necro survivability is insane, Chad. Just saying. You can check yesterday's stream if you like. It was really, really good. Okay, let's see. How much can we go up, Chad? We have already seen like a 10 billion before, but what can we have here? Oh, that was a good one. There's a lot of damage coming out of that blood wave. Yeah, some more damage coming together. I did Belial in tier 2 yesterday and got smoked. Just came back to D4 3 days ago after getting hung up on some new sports games. It's hard, Keck, especially if you have been out for a while. Belial is supposed to be kicking some ass, taking some names. And I love it because you want him to be strong, right? How's the PDR so far? A mixed bag. Because, so the biggest fumble right now is that doing the strong rooms is worse in the end game. Okay? You're going to do the Horadrim strong rooms. You're going to do nightmare dungeons. Until you have all your spells, all your powers. Okay? And everything upgraded. And then you'll never go in there again. The problem is that a strong room does not give you Opticide. Which means that actually going into a strong room is worse if you're farming Opticide. Right? If I'm trying to get Opticide right now, I would be better off not going into the strong room. And going into the strong room is worse for me. And that's terrible. How can that be? Have you tried out the new Bloodless Scream? No. And it's probably not going to be good Euler. I just can't see it being anything special. Even with the damage bonus versus bosses, it's still too gimmicky. Way too gimmicky. Maybe I'm just being pessimistic, and maybe there will be a killer build coming out of it, but I guess you need a 4 greater FX one. Now back to the Hydra sorc, guys. Why back to the Hydra sorc? Because we wanted to go for equipment, and then we're going to get all uniques and all uniques and all uniques. And we're hoping that we get the class uniques because we want to get the actual conduit pans. Pans. And we need them with the greater affix to resource generation. Okay. Pans in my hands. So that's also it, like, right? You don't need anything else. You just need that greater affix to resource generation. Chest armor with 3 greater affixes. Cool. Let me keep that. Just for the case of having it. Pans. That's also useless. Hey, don't mind me, chat. Don't mind me just creating, like, you know, fields of awesomeness. Amulet. Oh, actually, 2 amulets with all these greater affix stuff. Oh, the 2 wrong amulets. Eat my ass. Like, get all the amulets, chat. Get both wrong amulets. Still not greater affix. Like, that's the only thing you want. It's gonna be quite the chase, right? The good thing is that you don't actually care about how big the multiplier or anything is on the pans in terms of chain lightning chance to cast twice, all that kind of stuff. Like, really does not matter. Oh, staff, helm, pants 1, pants 2, pants 1, pants 2.
I need time to prepare that.
It's like finding Waldo, Chan. Pants in my hands. Pants. Good. No. No. And no. How can you be so useless? That's generic uniques, generic uniques, so nothing of this is needed. Let's get more. Let's drop all these here on the ground. Okay. Sorry, I'm polluting the environment with beams of light. Please apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Please apologize. And all uniques. And all uniques. And all uniques. So, on we go. Stutter stepping forward. Pants? Pants? Pants. Focus with triple. Wow. After playing test server, you're always so much missing the test server because it is nice to just spawn in whatever you need. Also makes the game boring at the same time. Still not maximum resource generation, even from a double grade affix one. Still not. There, ladies and gentlemen, we got it. We got scotted. Okay, meow. Sorry. Ignore all of this. Ignore it, chat. Ignore. We got it. Okay. Now let's pollute them all out. Good. Then we're going to take the pans. And now we need to masterwork the resource generation, okay? Oh, there you go, chat. There you go. So obviously we're not... Oh, my lord. So that is 80% now versus the current 49%. I am sitting at 220. We're going to put this on. And the best part about this is that it does it twice. So it not only gives me 80% more resource, it also gives me 80% more mana regeneration. So I'm on top of getting the more resource, we're also getting the mana back faster. So now I'm sitting at 264 mana. And again, 264 times 5 is what? 1,320 bonus. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. So the only thing you would have to do now is you would have to take your stupid head here, reset, and then you would have to try to hit the maximum resource. Because obviously that is the best thing you could humanly do. Because why would you have cooldown reduction? Imagine wanting cooldown reduction, no chat. You want to hit that maximum resource on the stupid head to really go above and beyond. Obviously, you would never hit the stupid maximum resource because why would you do that? Oh, Jesus Christ, you're really not gonna hit it. Oh, frustration. Thank you. Okay, now we hit it one time. That's more resource. Is there any other more resource that you're getting? You're getting the core skills, you're getting the potent warding, you get the primordial binding, you get resource generation, which is up. So that's kind of like it. Okay, now we're sitting after this little boost at 272 resource. Let's go back to our friend, the Belial. I always rock a lightning spear to speed farm, have the 4 or 5 season, but I'm afraid it'll get nerfed into the ground. You can still play it, most likely. Oh, resource from a potion. You're so right. You absolutely smart, good-looking person, Desi. 1970. Stunning individual. Elixir of resourcefulness. And with this, we're now sitting at 317. Whoa! Isn't there a bunch of max resource in the Paragon also? I don't think I have taken it. Clear all. Does it say mana or resource? I can't find it. No, there's no resource, right? Mana. Nope. Nope. At least not from the boards that we have taken. So 317% means over 1,500% damage bonus for a Hydra. The crazy part is, in order for a Hydra to be viable, that's the thing you actually need to get, right? Ladies and gentlemen. Oops, I walked into that. What I wonder, so like you could also take the chain lightning here, right? It's probably not worth it, but chain lightning forms automatically after spending 100 mana. Like, is it even worth it? It would probably be bad if I consume my mana with chain lightnings, right? Yeah, they're doing like billions of damage so easily. It's actually disgusting. Are they doing like casually this much damage? What you really want to have now is the lucky hit to restore resource. Because right now I am playing this without a lucky hit to restore resource. And usually your weapon would play lucky hit to restore resource. So that you're just better off. Let's go into the pit and see how it feels in the pit. You will most likely be able to still play Lightning Spear, guys. You just won't play Lightning Spear as efficient as you used to. Ta-da. Right? The same for Blood Wave, the same for everything. You can still play it. This tier of pit level is obviously going to be too... Oh, this is going to be a problem. Chad, what are we going to do with our Hydras against damage reduction mobs? That's a valid question. Because I cannot target these damage reduction mobs, right? I would have to like pull them together and then just hope that my Hydras are actually hitting that. But yeah. Because you can't, like, focus your Hydras, right? You're going to put them down, and then you're going to just wait for them to happen. So the splintering energy nerf plus the lightning spear buff kind of equates to the same thing they're doing for basic skills. So Blizzard was like, hey, we buffed your basic skills. That's so amazing. Look, all the basic skill builds that are going to be possible. But in the same breath, they're also like, but we also nerfed all the aspect related to basic skills. So yay. Not sure whoever, like, which bird brain cooked that one up. Because, like, you didn't buff squat shit there. Like, we did the math, we ran the numbers. Every basic skill build is pretty much as strong as it was before. If not weaker. Well, pit level, oh, this is just pit 45 because on the test server, you don't have every pit unlocked. It's a bit stupid, so you literally have to play first and unlock further pits to keep playing. For Necro, the only good build is going to be Summoner. No, Bloody Bone Spear, Blood Wave, the Summoner, probably Bloodlands. Blood Surge is out of favor, that's for sure. I wouldn't play Blood Surge. Bloodlands itself, I wouldn't play. Bloody Bone Spear is better. But yeah, Blood Wave, Summoner, and there might be Shadow builds coming. I know our friend Mr. Macrobio Boy has been testing a lot of things, Shadow Summoner-wise. And Shadow Necro-wise in general. But there are also a lot of interactions that are not interacting the way they should be interacting. I just know that our lads are working on stuff. So I'm gonna, like, when it comes down to Shadow Necro, I'm just gonna let the boys cook first and see what they come up with. There is certainly, due to the one Horadrim jewel that makes shadow damage infinitely stack up, there's a possibility that shadow damage could be good, but for that you need tons of instances of shadow damage over time, and then you'll potentially be able to do something. But it kind of all hinges on that one Horadrim jewel, and if you're not getting that Horadrim jewel, then you can forget about actually playing shadow. Yeah, I know, sounds weird. It's a little bit the same with actually the Thorns Spiritborn. Because the Thorns Spiritborn also needs the Horadrim jewel for bonus Thorns, or it's not going to be Thorning. Hydra looks fun. Hopefully they won't nerf it. Hydra is working as expected, and in order to get it this OP, it requires significant investment. You need to understand that the power level on the test server is also with glyphs being 100, and who of you is going to have 5 glyphs to 100? Raise your hand, Chad. In the last 2 seasons, did you have your glyphs all the way to 100, every single one? I did not in the last 2 seasons, for a matter of fact. Maximum glyph level I've had was 66. So if this now has 5 glyphs to 100, and it's actually this strong, right? Then that's balanced. Very balanced. Because if something is powerful with all glyphs to 100, then, well, congratulations, it should be. I mean, imagine a build not being good with 5 glyphs leveled up to 100. That would be a systematic issue with the game then. Because why would I even bother leveling my glyphs to 100 and then my build is trash? Well, great, congratulations. I'm an absolute giga genius, 400 IQ, super smooth brain. Oh wow, she died so quick. Cutie. Okay, now we're officially in Torment 4. That's where we want it to be. I'm only Paragon 192 on Eternal. I don't actually know where I am. I think I should be at 285 or something in total. I'll probably never reach Paragon 300. Probably never. You do mostly speak to dad gamers? Absolutely. I know that there are the every now and then outliers where people have obviously everything, right? But, I mean, most people that play the game are not the outliers, right? Most people that play the game and watch the videos, they need something realistic. And that's not presenting you something that has all glyphs to 100 and then it's good. But it's like always funny because I've seen so many Necro creators put out Blood Surge builds and be like, wow, this Blood Surge build is insane. And it's like, yeah, it's insane if you have the mythical items and if your glyphs are at least level 80. Otherwise, it's trash. Right? It's like you forget to mention that the build doesn't work unless... Sir. And for some builds, it's sadly true that unless you actually have the glyphs significantly leveled up, you're not going to find much joy. You know what? This would be such a preferred gameplay of mine. This Hydra sorc is just speaking to me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't actually care which other sorc would be powerful. Right? I just want to make this work on the live server. This would be like minions. This would be the build where I want to max out a character just to see how far you can go because of how stupid the concept is of the build in itself. Making ginormous 3-headed Hydras for maximum damage. What's Season 9 adding? They're adding Horadrim powers. And the Horadrim powers are absolutely non-mattering, and you might as well not even add them currently. I'm being harsh here. The problem is you don't feel the impact. You know Season 8 right now with the boss powers where you're like, pew, 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 boss power, pew, pew, maximum crit, pew, 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 boss power. Like, I can see it. The visuals are just not really there. The triggers are also not there. It's like it gets triggered every second when you use an ability. So that means I'm not even consciously triggering this ability. And that's what's kind of annoying me. Right? Like, how do I trigger my ability right now? Well, it was simple. I just spam keys, right? I just play like I always play, and I don't just really consciously see the trigger there. I don't feel it, right? It's happening every 8 seconds, and there's this disconnect between so every 4.3 seconds the ability is active. Okay, every 4.3 seconds. That means every 4.3 seconds randomly my ability that I anyways use will actually do more, right? But with the boss powers, it was like, okay, if the enemy is poisoned, waves of poison will shoot out every 0.3 seconds. Okay, but that just happened, right? You noticed it. It happens. You didn't have to, like, there was no disconnect there. Or if I use a core skill, Grégoire's lightning square will go out. Sure, I use the core skill. It happens every single time, unless you attack way too quick, right? And all these stuff. I drink a potion, and instantly the boss power will shoot out. Cool. Also, very nice. And here's just like, I use my teleport, and every 4.3 seconds, my teleport will do more than it actually does. Okay, cool. Thank you. There's something like weighty missing with the powers for me. Like some oomph. Some level of oomph where you just, I don't know. Like, it sounded cool to build your own spells, but it's just not. And I'm not being overly negative because I will still play this season, right? I'm still trying to have fun. I'm just trying to find an explanation what's bothering me about the Horadrim powers. Because from a base setup, they're interesting, right? They have 3 components that you mix and match together and that you get the most out of. And that's technically cool. And then you have your Horadrim jewels who are also talking to the powers. So there is a level of customization going on that should be interesting. But for some reason, it's not. For some reason, you can't be bothered to really play around with it. I guess one problem could be that you just know if you build something too good, it will get nerfed. Right? I mean, I was like, can I make one of my powers do like billions of damage? Is this possible? But the answer is, why even bother? Because if it does, it will get nerfed anyways, because Blizzard doesn't want them to do billions of damage. Ta-da. Okay, we're currently at pit 60, which we obviously should do. So we should do everything up to pit 75 with ease. There's no questions here for me. I don't want to see like a bigger pit boss, so let's try to make our way to 75. I think powers have gotten stale. No, I absolutely disagree with the notion that powers have gotten stale, because season 8 everyone was already saying that, and like I loved the powers in season 8, right? Like, the powers in season 8 were just like super boner, absolutely super boner. Like, tell me a single person who actually played the season. So tell me a single person who actually played this season, not the haters, that did not end up liking the boss powers, right? I mean, most people I have talked to, most people I have interacted with, they have been like, yeah, you know what? I was surprised at how well the boss powers actually played. I know a lot of people are getting tired of borrowed power, and that's okay. Like, you're not forced to play these seasons, right? It is though, end of the day, what we will get. Like, if you expect Blizzard to become more creative, it won't. I'm sorry. Like, if you expect Blizzard to be like, oh man, we came up with this cool season, no, they won't. It will be borrowed powered for the rest of the lifetime of Diablo 4, probably. So I'm sorry. Like, I don't expect them to come up with something super genuine original. Like, it's gonna be chaos powers, and then it's gonna be angel powers, and then it's gonna be yo mama powers, and then we're gonna get like it's gonna be the season of the Necromancer, and everyone gets Necromancer powers, and then instead of vampiric powers, they're gonna call it blood-sucking powers or something like this. And then instead of Horadrim powers, we're gonna get ancient wizard powers. And then we're gonna get demonic powers, and then it's going to be like angel powers, but it's not gonna be angel powers. It's gonna be called celestial being powers, right? And then because they think you don't notice it, they're gonna call it boss powers again, and they're gonna hope that you forgot. That's probably going to be the development cycle of Diablo forward. And I'm fine with it. You know what? I'm fine with it. As long as the actual meta seasons become better. Because right now we get to see what's the meta season. So the meta season is that we get the Nightmare Dungeons. Okay. And the Nightmare Dungeons are giving these Horadrim spells. And the strong rooms and everything. My problem is, after the season is over, okay, right now, the way how the Horadrim strong rooms are, after season 9 is over, I would never ever go into a strong room again, due to the way how strong rooms are. So in season 9, you are going to be forced to go into the strong rooms because you need the strong rooms for the powers, right? But I would actually, like, I would not play the strong rooms if I wasn't forced to play them this season because of how they're designed. I do hope that Blizzard is going to look into that. Okay, right now the damage is just crazy too. I love that. Okay, we're almost at 75, Chad. Do you think they should make sets as we had in Diablo 3? I like sets a lot, but I don't know how to fit them in. You got unique items, you got ancestral items, we got mythic items. How are you gonna get sets? I mean, they could tops make it that if you use certain unique items together, like maybe a set bonus using specific unique items. I don't know, spitballing here. So instead of actual sets, like work with what we have. We have the unique items. Can the unique items be used to form some kind of sets, right? If I'm a Necromancer and I'm using Black River, which is a corpse-related one, and if I use Black River, but I also use the ring that's also a corpse-related ring. So if I use these two items, then the effect of both items is enhanced by 200%, and I'm getting specific unique effect X whenever I explode a corpse. So I'm playing Lightning Sorceress. I'm using actual Conduit, and then I use the Lightning Ball thingy. So whenever I do a Lightning Ball, the Lightning Ball starts shooting out Chain Lightnings. And actual Conduit is 200% more efficient, blah. You know, could that be something rather than using actual sets that you just lean into the power theme of uniques even more? Because there are a lot of uniques that speak to each other, right? A lot of uniques you don't necessarily always use, but it could be even more build enabling. So maybe. Is it possible to use Shattered Vow? No, Shattered Vow is a failed concept. So you know when there are still items in the game where you kind of never feel like they have a use? Yeah, that's called a failed concept. You know the spell from Necromancer called Iron Maiden? No, you don't, because no one's using it. Exactly. So that's a failed concept. That's someone at Blizzard who thought this would be a good idea, and it was not a good idea. And now to this point, they still haven't gotten to actually rework this bad idea and come up with something more convenient, better, like something that's actually like a good idea. And maybe they will never. I mean, remember that Necromancer got a new key passive that's called Affliction. This key passive was meant to use spamming your curse, and then if you spam your curse, you do damage with a curse. Since the insurrection of this skill, it's been useless. Like, so Season 6 it was introduced, it's useless. No one is playing it, not even in Season 6. And we also told them that it's useless during some creator screenings, and it's still in the game. Like, it was literally made as Season 6 as the big Necromancer rework, as the new thing, new ways to play, and it's useless. Not like 10% useless, like just utterly, completely. There's not a single way how I will ever play this because it's just trash useless. And I'm not trying to be mean. Even though it seems like for some reason I'm trying to be mean. I am not. Now the damage versus bosses is so good. With all your Hydra heads just spitting at them. Okay, that was 70 chat. Now let's go, like, we're gonna see how deep can we get. Let's upgrade my boots too.
I'm not ready yet.
I forge more than horseshoes and nails.
Mobility. Was it mobility cooldown reduction? Probably. And we're going for I wanted to go for Barra generation, ended up with Fortified generation. We're just upgrading everything, so we're fully masterworked.
I'm not ready yet.
All the other passes will always be better than it, unless they allow it to make vulnerable during shadow damage or something like that. There's just like many things still in the game that are bad and that need to be reworked on top of the actual things that we need new. Because let's be fair, yes, Nightmare Dungeons needed a rework. But on top, we also needed new endgame content. Now, don't forget what's going to happen next season, guys. Next season, we're going to get reworked of Infernal Hordes. But now let's put on our thinking caps, okay, chat? I want you all to put on your thinking cap. How often am I going to see you in a Nightmare Dungeon when they rework Infernal Hordes in the next season? This is where I'm a little bit like not understanding Blizzard's big plan, because they're now making Nightmare Dungeons great again. But objectively, Infernal Hordes is so much better than Nightmare Dungeons by a magnitude that as soon as Infernal Hordes are reworked, you're not going to see me do anything but Infernal Hordes. I'm going to live in that shit. I'm going to make my house there. I'm going to be like these cave diver videos on TikTok, right? I'm just going to jump right in. And that's it. You're going to only see my shoes sticking out. Amber, thank you for the 41 centuries of support. Amber, so good to see you there. Beautiful, thank you for the 63 months as well. Any plans for games to play in the future? Beautiful, sorry that I did see that so late. Games in the future is going to be Dune Awakening. So we will play Dune on this channel. In case you ask yourself, is Pony going to play Dune? The answer is yes, I will play Dune. No questions asked. Then on top of Dune, we're going to play No Rest with the Wicked. We're going to play more Diablo, Path of Exile 2 with the Path of Exile 2 updates that are hopefully going to bang. I don't actually know what other game release we're currently looking forward to. So the latest 2 game releases I have on my agenda are Elden Ring Night Rain. Because obviously we've been all waiting for Elden Ring Night Rain quite a significant while. So that's on my radar. Then on top of Elden Ring Night Rain, we had Dune Awakening. And I don't actually know what other game is releasing this year. I haven't really paid attention. I know Crimson Desert is coming at some point. Chrono Odyssey is kind of like on the horizon, but not this year. Yeah, I don't know what other games, apart from obviously my standard ARPG updates, I'm looking forward to. I mean, from Path of Exile, I'm surprisingly not expecting that much this year because, let's be fair, they're still fighting with their latest Dawn of the Hunt updates. And I don't anticipate any big new content pieces anytime soon from them, as they're really like so busy with making the game work. It's going to be an interesting time ahead with what we actually all going to play. I mean, maybe there's going to be a surprise title around the corner like Clair Obscur, because like I had Clair Obscur on my radar from day one on, but I did not expect it to be the game it was, right? So 100% had it like that I wanted to play it, but it was not like, oh my god, this is the game of the year. Where did you come from, Claire? I don't think anyone had that on their radar. So we're just doing the Pit 75 here with ease. Good to see. GTA 6? Yeah, I'm not really interested in GTA 6. That's not something for me. Not the GTA gamer. I already cringed when I roleplay with my wife in the bedroom, you know? The good old insurance agent and medical disaster and not enough money to play kind of scheme. You know how it is. So already very cringy there. I can't do like roleplay live on stream. Infernal Horde's improvement is the next season. But again, if Infernal Hordes get improved, who's going to go back to Nightmare Dungeons? Who's going to go back to Nightmare Dungeons once Infernal Hordes are fantastic? Tell me, my friend. Am I running in circles while just summoning Hydras with maximum mana? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing, my friend. Why wouldn't I do that? Good. So that was Pit 75. That was quite simple. I mean, obviously we're going to be slowing down now, but I guess Pit 80 should be in. Maybe Pit 85. Already, without, like, having perfect stuff. Okay. It's definitely a downgrade from Lightning Spear. Well, I personally never played Lightning Spear because I found Lightning Spear to be one of the most boring slop to play. So for me, this is a stark upgrade to what Sorc had so far. But each to their own. It's incredibly weak emote. No, it's pretty strong. The game just got balanced, Jay. The game just got balanced. I mean, you would also say that Bloodwave looks incredibly weak at the moment. Here, let's take our Bloodwave build.
I'm not ready yet.
That we really have not optimized masterworking wise. I mean, I just threw money at the problem currently. I mean, we literally just threw money at the problem, okay? We didn't do anything else. Just like, here's money, take it. Oh, actually, I need to get the damage while fortified. No damage while fortified. I'd be asking for too much, probably. Actually, I need to. Okay, so this would be Blood Wave, not Minion Necro. Minion Necro can do Pit 75 too. So we're gonna do Blood Wave quickly, and then we're gonna try Minion Necro and Pit 75. Meteor was fun, but was damn clunky. Yep. Will the trap build? Yes, Death Trap is still working. So this would be Blood Wave Necro. So the overpowers, as you can see, they're still in the tens of billion direction, right? So if you have a maxed out Blood Wave, you're still going to be feeling powerful.
I'm not ready yet.
One thing I mostly liked about Blood Wave has always been the actual gameplay loop of Blood Wave. That you're just so relaxed going around and just nuking everything. Right? While everything is just being thrown around and nothing can really hurt you. Ah, Blood Wave. A good old fun thing to play. Why are we testing everything with Pit 75? Because as always, Pit 75 is what you need to do to finish the season. That was the seasonal goal. And I think Pit 75 is a good benchmark for builds. There's a 20 billion hit. Woo! Like, chat, we actually do double-digit billions up to the 20s. I mean, obviously, this character would do 100 billion with the gear I have right now. So, that being said, so in the current live server, this would be 100 billion and beyond with what we're running around currently. And that's probably the biggest problem with this season. So if you never played Blood Wave much, this season is still going to feel great for Blood Wave Necro. But if you play Blood Wave now 2 seasons long, you're going to be like, wow. That's quite sad. Because you're pretty much playing the same build and nothing has functionally changed with the build. You're just weaker. Right? Same build, weaker damage output, because let me check my notes. But Blizzard thought this would be what they need to do to balance everything. If they make Infernal Hordes really good, people would still do Nightmare Dungeons if the loot was good, but it's not. The new strong rooms, they're not really too impressive. Astaroth also not too impressive loot-wise. So the only reason to right now do these Horadrim strong rooms would be to get yourself all the jewels, all the gems, and everything you need. But you would certainly not do it for the loot. Okay, after this, we're going to swap over to minions and see how minions do Pit 75. Because yesterday we couldn't test the deeper pits as we hadn't actually pushed this deep yet. Right? Oh wow, there is not enough minions. That's annoying. Backtrack, Andy. Backtrack, Andy. So there's a flock of elites in this corner of the map. That allows me to wrap this up. Are Ancestral and Rune drops still ass? No, Ancestral drops are definitely better. Like, the problem is that Astaroth is a bit inconsistent. So I have been to Astaroth and I get absolute banger loot. Like, really, really banger loot. And then it was completely lackluster. So it's like super swingy. Either it's nice or it's just complete sadness. I don't know what's so hard to bring some regularity into the loot, right? But yeah. There was really no ever something where you feel like, yeah, I am guaranteed some good loot here. Right, when you go to Infernal Horde and you just know that that 34 billion, Sean? 46 billion. Whoop, 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 whoop. Some decent damage. Did you make build guides for Eternal Realm too? No, did he? You can figure out if the builds work for you on Eternal, but I don't play Eternal, nor do I have any interest in Eternal, so that's that. Okay, let's equip the minion gear, Chad. So this is me back in action with the minion gear. And pit 75. Could put some more of these Paragon points in. Technically. Not really anything to be gained, right? We get all the bonuses that we need to get. Maybe just stat padding here, like when we try to get some more intelligence, but even the intelligence we get mostly, I missed 2% life. There weren't really many points to put in. I mean, I could shift some runes around, that would probably help. Most likely. Okay. The potion. I'm not there. Oh my god, chat, I'm not there. Okay. Well. That was something. I personally think OP should have stayed at the top, but it hurts the character selection process, I guess. The problem with overpowered damage is that if overpowered damage is as strong as it is, that there is just no other options. Okay, that like you're just forced to overpower or you don't do enough damage. And this really showed in season 7 or season 8, because I was playing a Spiritborn character and my Spiritborn character was decent, but whenever it overpowered, the damage went from like a few 100 million to 40 billion. Okay, so it's like 100 million, 100 million, 100 million, overpower 40 billion, 100 million, 100 million, 130 billion. So that was like how the character played. And that power discrepancy is just a bit eh. Therefore, the overpower nerf does make sense, especially because it really led to crazy numbers, considering that still all the overpower builds are top, right? All the overpower builds are still S tier. The big numbers we're getting there, Glynis, that was overpower critical strikes. Actual overpower crit combination. I tried minions without the OP rune. I literally went from 2 billion to 30 billion. Well, minions have the advantage that they can play the Quox rune really efficient wave round. So that's a big advantage, right? With the Quox rune, you're still doing nice amounts of damage. Am I wrong in saying they should get a new dev team? I don't think it's a dev team issue, Dragon. There is obviously a lot that's probably being dictated from the tibbity-tobbity to the down, right? I know that the dev team does care, and they're trying to really make the most out of what they have. They do also, despite being Blizzard, have limited resources and budgets, right? They can't just rework the game again. And what I don't know is, and this is a very important question, how much they're keeping the way it is because they're planning to rework it in the expansion, right? So we're getting expansion number 2. They are obviously working on expansion number 2. Okay. And in expansion number 2, as in expansion number 1, the game will probably change again. In a way. In what way ever. Right? Also, at this point, we gotta say, my friend, at least we know what these devs are doing. Correct? We at least know what these devs are doing. We at least kind of know what to expect. A new dev team is not necessarily better. A new dev team could also like hit the shitter even harder. Like, this is the known evil. Okay, for some reason, I get thrown back into my blood build, so we're gonna have to go for minions again. Now we're back to the minion build. After the game just decided that the last seconds did not exist. Hit 75. What do you think the new class will be? I have absolutely no clue.
This place is...
Here we are. So pit 75 with minions. Oh shit, he reset my... Oh my goodness, I hate this so much. Wait, I'm trying to run away, but I can't. What just happened? I can't play like this. I don't know how people play like that.
I need more time. I'm out of essence.
There's minions, pit 75.
I'm not ready.
There's a 5 billion hit. So like the mages are generally like really strong gameplay.
I need more time.
They're not flashy, but they do the job. Right? The only issue that the build right now has is restoring your essence, because you gotta make sure that you always are full essence, because that's where the main damage of your minions comes from. Since with full essence and the Quaxrune triggering, all your lads that are doing hundreds, millions of damage will then suddenly start doing billions of damage. So you have 12 skeletal mages who are doing incredible damage, and then with the right incentive, they are suddenly doing even more amazing damage. That being said, there also seems to be quite some things that are not 100% working. Best part though is how I'm fully resistanced up, even in a pit 75, right? Not only fully resistance up, I'm also standing right in the middle of my opponents, and I just don't take health damage, so that's working the way you want it to work. This was the main fear of every Necro player, that we would actually end up significantly squishy when you play minions, but we don't, which is good. As always, you see squat when you're playing minions. There's 76 Paragon points not applied. Well, I don't apply the full Paragon points because I would never have 300 Paragon points. Right? I would just simply... I would never have 300 Paragon points. So it doesn't even cross my mind to really spend them. They would also not make us much stronger because the only thing I could take was bonus in points right now. Since I have taken all the important nodes. It's actually pretty sad. Like, I have taken all the important nodes. I could stat pad a bit. I could move some things around, but not by much to really get somewhere out of this. We're already of the like maximum coming out of this kind of phase. I really need essence per second on my boots. Without essence per second on my boots, we're so much weaker. Not saying Paladin shouldn't join the game, but Witch Doctor would be prio. I mean, as far as I understood, the D4 team, they don't want to rehash an old class, so they're obviously going to come up with something new and innovative, like the Spiritborn, which wasn't actually a bad concept, but for some reason it's still not really working correctly. I mean, Spiritborn has efficiently one build that people are playing, right? And then there's the off-meta builds, which are really off-meta builds. No, it's just not like Necromancer, where you have like a couple of viable builds, or like Barbarian, where you have like 4 different Earthquake builds, or Sorc. This is like where you have like one build, mostly, and the rest is like so niche that you don't even want to talk about it. Is it possible to build a good Endariel's minion build? Could the mages trigger the Poison Nova? The mages are supposedly able to trigger the Poison Nova. I don't know if there's an object permanence issue. So often in Diablo, there is an eternal cooldown for objects, and I don't know how many Endariel's Poison Novas you can actually have active at a given point. If there is a limit, how that actually does work, Poison Nova wise. Technically, with enough lucky hit, you should be able to have your minions trigger the Nova with you consistently. But you would also be then in need of boosting your lucky hit to then use the Endariels, and you would have to have Endariels first, and then you would actually not boost the damage of the minions at all, because the minions would only actually give you the Endariels, so you have like minions but without any investment in the minions to then, yeah, I'm not sure if that's then worth it, instead of just playing a shadow damage build that does a lot of shadow damage and then just boost that, right? How could there be any multiple builds for any class? I mean, they are, sir. Even with the linearity of the Diablo 4 skill trees, there's a lot of customization possible. The question is always if your builds can actually do stuff. I mean, technically, you could make yourself a Corpse Explosion Necromancer. You have all the tools to make yourself a Corpse Explosion Necro. You actually have all the uniques too, so you in generally are blessed and could make a Corpse Explosion Necro. With the only issue that Corpse Explosion is so weak per se that making a Corpse Explosion Necro in itself would be like the stupidest thing you could ever do, because you just simply wouldn't do any damage. But you could if you wanted to. Minions is a bit slow to farm. I mean, minions were never expected to be much faster. This is pretty good for minions right now. Like, Blizzard will never make minions tops. They suck. Like, they're scared because if minions are top, everyone will whine. I don't know what's wrong with people. So overpower builds have been top and people were just like, hey, overpower builds, so much fun. But once minions are top, it's like, oh no, minions can't be top. Like, no, I don't want minions to be the #1. This is unacceptable. And that's mainly because people find minion playstyles boring, so they obviously can't accept when a minion playstyle is then tippity top, tip top. So this is actually performing really well for a minion build that has lost 150% damage multiplier, because that's what minions did, right? They lost 150% summoning damage that we used to have due to the boss powers. Boss damage is just great. I love boss damage. Very good. Obviously, summoning minions is not a cool move, because if he summons minions, chat, then my lads are not going to attack. Ta-da! And with time to spare, kind of fine. Any opinions on Blight for Season 9? I know they kept the key passive, but how is it? The key passive capping does not actually affect Blight that much. Blight should be good because you're getting this specific thing. Okay, what are you getting for Blight? You're getting the jewel, this one, the Tyrant's Bane. After you deal damage over time to an enemy, they take 0.33 more damage over time from you forever. I assume that the Tyrant's Bane has an internal cooldown. Okay? But if you're in a 10-second boss fight... If you're in a 1-minute boss fight, and even if this thing only triggers per second and not per fraction, like it could also trigger every half second. But like if this triggers 60 times 0.33% more damage, that would be another 20% damage multiplier. Now let's assume the internal cooldown is not every second. The internal cooldown would be double. So alone that thing would just make your damage over time do another 40% more damage forever. Now we're thinking about that boss fights later take 2 minutes. So instead of like now doing this per minute, that would be then in 2 minutes, you would suddenly then do another 80% more damage and just continues going this way, right? So that's actually really nice for damage over time. And that's again saying if the internal cooldown is actually 0.5. If the internal cooldown is now 0.3, that would then triple, right? So we're then not sitting at 20%, actually 40%. You would suddenly sit at 60% in a minute and 120% in 2 minutes. So that's kind of cool. For the Tyrant Bane. If that does actually help very much, I don't know. And on top, you could use the Disintegrate, which actually does do damage over time and quite some significant damage over time. And you could turn Disintegrate into a Shadow skill. So not only would then Disintegrate like help because it says like damage over time, right? But it would be another damage over time stack that actually takes with damage over time. So it's kind of cool. Also, the Cosmic Anomaly does damage over time as well. So you could have 5 summons that do damage over time. And this says whenever he takes damage over time, right? So could you stack a lot of them up? How much fun would D4 be if we had D2 itemization? I never played much D2. So for me, D4 is actually fun the way it is. Like D2 itemization wouldn't do anything for me. I do believe people need to finally accept that D4 is the way it is. D4 will not fundamentally change away from the way it is, right? D4 will only get more casual. I mean, they're trying to kind of make it harder, but even in trying to make it harder, they're still very casual. Because, so, one advantage Diablo 4 has over all the other ARPGs right now is the very streamlined process. You go from 1 to 60, you jump into Torment, you kill lair bosses, you get yourself the uniques, you put your build together, you farm some more lair bosses, or you finish the seasonal journey. You get yourself then Resplendent Sparks to get your mythics, to make yourself more powerful, and then you're able to do every piece of content while you're going through Torment 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you have the Masterworking, obviously, and the Tempering to boost your character further, to then linear improve your power. And all these steps in the journey are very neatly laid out for you. You pretty much know what to do. I do A, then B, then C, then D, then E, then I do B again, and then E, and then F, and then G, and then A. And you're done. If I play Path of Exile 2, for example, right? If I jump into Path of Exile 2, I also level up my character until point X. But I don't have a power progression I can map out. So I will obviously at some point need a better weapon, but that weapon might never drop. So I have to use the weapon I have until I'm lucky to get one, or I have to go trading, or I have to craft and then maybe luck out again, right? So it's like very different in terms of how to grow your Diablo 4 character. And that's what I like about the game. Because I know what I have to do. I make a new character, I level to 60, I invest 5 to 10 hours, and my character is going to be X strong. Nice. AM 4-man pit groups. Pit groups are actually not dead, AM. There are combinations of Barbarian together with other stuff. because Barb has the shouts, and the shouts are actually buffing everyone. So if you have then a Barb with you, the Barb does help the whole team. You can also, like, there was also a Barb Sorc mix where the Sorc was doing more damage to burning enemies, and the Barb would make sure that the enemies are burning, for example. So that works nicely together, right? Then there were instances where people actually were using our sorcerer, our necromancers, to pull people together. That was the only reason you were taking a Necro with you, because he had corpse tendrils and there weren't many tools to actually pull things together at that given point. And Necros were just used as a tool to pull everything. It's buggy with the new gloves. You don't get the mastery skill points. I noticed something because I was wondering, this was +5 to skeletal mage mastery, right? And I'm only having +8 ranks to skeletal mage mastery because we're currently having the Ring of Mendeln going, and that's +4. So you're completely correct. We're currently not getting the 5 to skeletal mage mastery, so they're not happening. And 5 ranks in this case would be for our mages another 100% bonus damage. So good point that you're actually saying this. I was not aware. Like I noticed yesterday, but it didn't make click why it is that way. I was like, we have 8 ranks. That's good. But I forget that we're missing 5. Thank you for pointing that out. I would love to see leaderboards for duos. I don't think that pit leaderboards make sense because it would be pay to win. What? Yeah. It would be pay to win. I mean, pit leaderboards would only encourage people to real money trade, to buy themselves items from the market, to then be able to push deeper into the pit leaderboard. Right now, the only leaderboard we should get is for Infernal Hordes because they would be fun and YOLO. I'm sorry, but the only leaderboards we should have is for Infernal Hordes, and they would measure your killing speed, how much ether you got. I don't know how many minions you kill per wave, like kind of some, just fun, just stupid fun, right? Nothing too serious, because congratulations, if you're better in Infernal Hordes than others, you're so cool. What about gauntlets? Gauntlets were shit. Red Hawk. The concept of gauntlets somewhere, somehow, maybe, but the gauntlet was always favoring classes that had movement skills. Have you actually ever played the gauntlet as a necromancer? It was awful. Every other class, like the sorc, like teleporting through, lightning spear, gauntlet, oh yeah, so good, wank wank. The necromancer's like, oh yeah, I will be in time where I need to be, oh no. Like if you played the gauntlet, there was something with a couple of, like, you had to activate a couple of shrines. Okay, so this is the map, right? And you had to activate a couple of shrines in case you never played the gauntlet. Okay, Chad? So these shrines, like, you had to activate them, and they were strewn throughout the map. And if you were actually looking for like a barbarian way to do it, so, or a sorceress. So how are the barbarian and the sorceress playing? So you were going to this shrine and then to that shrine and then to this, and then you were backtracking. Then you went to this, then you respawned the shrines, then you did a whole around, then you would go for this one, to then go for this one, to then respawn them, to go a whole around, to respawn everything, then do this, there, then die, and then do a whole around, and then do it again, okay? That was how everyone actually played. And then you had Necromancer, where you went for this, and then you went for that, and then you went here, and then you were trying to go all the way around, but you noticed you don't have the time to then go for this, for that, for here, maybe back to this, while here and there. Right? Imagine no dupe on Belial mats. If Season 8 had no dupe on Belial mats, and I wasn't able to buy myself, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I had 200 Betrayer's Husk, and I got them completely from a trustworthy vendor inside the chat who sold them to me for billions of gold. And I never asked him where he got them from. But I'll tell you, if I didn't have these mats, I wouldn't have enjoyed Season 8 that much. I mean, yeah, dude, mats are a problem. I agree. But if actually the Betrayer's Husk hasn't happened that way, I would have been sad. And the main reason is that Blizzard, like, freaking screwed it up. Like, Blizzard screwed it up big time. Since a lot of stuff just, like Belial just wasn't spawning enough. By the way, has any one of you tried to do this seasonal quest? I have tried to do the seasonal quest and I can't continue it. It tells me to enter the scar and I can't enter the scar. Right? So, like, you need to do multiple things. Like, you needed to do, like, here, find Brionna at the Horadrim Vault, enter a strong room, enter the scar, use a nightmare, find the wolf spirit. Because I wanted to see how the seasonal board looks like, what you're getting, but I couldn't. Has any one of you seen the seasonal board?
I need time to do that.
Okay, we've found the wolf spirit. Slay the demons. I'm there. Zig, thank you for the Prime Gaming subscription. Thank you for the Prime Gaming support, Mr. Zig. Follow the wolf spirit. I'm following it. It's gone. Chat, I'm really trying to do this quest. Where's the wolf spirit? Where is it? Where did it go? Hot Rock, good to see you there. Shop also. Howdy. Like, I just want to finish the quest, but I can't follow the wolf spirit. Because there's no wolf spirit to follow. It just vanished. When I hope that seasonal quest line is fixed so we can actually see what's going on, right? But yeah, it's like... We can't even check the seasonal quest line currently. I just wanted to see the progression thingy, John, right? Because where do you craft the gems, guys? Has anyone found out where to craft the gems? The Horadrim jewels? I've been searching everywhere, man. I couldn't find it. Maybe I'm just blind. There's always a way where I'm blind. Don't they just drop? No, you're supposed to get the books, and with the books, you're supposed to craft. The dev said in the campfire there would be no seasonal questline in the PDR. Well, why is there a seasonal questline in the PDR then?
Magic,
Sir.
steel. I've seen all
I heard what the dev said. Don't get me wrong, I heard. But why is it in that? Don't the books drop in Nightmare Dungeons? The books are supposed to drop in Nightmare Dungeons, but I don't know if they actually drop since we have all of them. And I couldn't find any crafting for gems. Like, you have the standard gems, but we don't have the other gems. But I boosted my characters, so I can't test this. I simply don't know what for resources we actually would need to craft, right?
Use it well.
Katie, good morning. Katie, you're gonna love this. We did the Hydra sorc, ladies and gentlemen, in case you have missed it. And the Hydra sorc is such a fun gameplay loop because you're just spamming Hydras. Let me actually do something for this build. By getting a new weapon with like maximum resource on it. But on the other hand, my thing has 12 Hydra heads. Hydra sorc seems to be the go for next season. I mean, the whole gameplay loop of Hydra sorc is just love. You summon Hydras, and then you spam your summoning cooldowns, and then you summon Hydras and spam your summoning cooldowns, and that's it. It's so cool. And then you use your snake of fire to hurt people. When I managed to have my Hydras do billions of damage, and we're not even like super max, giga max, right? So there's still room for improvement, room to breathe. Big Hydra. What do you think should happen to the pits? I think they should just go to level 100. What's the point of having pit 200 if it current season 8 the highest someone did was 125? The reason why we have so high level pits is to create an eternal chase. So the pits were actually never meant to be cleared, which is a weird concept, but it is what it is. So the pits are not meant to be cleared. The pits are meant to be this eternal glorious chase that you're always just trying to go a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further, for the people that really have nothing better to do. I personally find the pit being currently our endgame chase the worst thing that could ever happen to the game, as the pit is probably the most boring endgame chase in existence. That's why I'm really looking forward to an Infernal Horde rework, because I like, if the Infernal Hordes are our endgame chase like they were in Season 5, well, hold my beer. Do you know how much fun it was to try to beat a tier 8 horde? A tier 8 Infernal Horde, in case you don't know, Infernal Hordes used to go from tier 1 to tier 8. That was freaking insane. Like, you had to have a very good character that was very powerful to even be able to do these in a meaningful way. And I think that's brilliant. That's how it should, like, that was great for Infernal Hordes. I mean, right now, tier 4 Infernal Hordes are obviously a joke at some point. You become strong enough and then you just shit on them. There's like no challenge anyway. Mathra is in. You watched the Once Human video and your heart stuck in progress. I mean, the scenario is just bad. I'm pretty much waiting for them to patch the scenario and or bring out the overhauled scenario, because right now in the current way, it is like, I don't wish to waste my time. Kind of like the D4 devs, they missed the mark with the difficulty. I'm not sure what it is with developers that think harder to kill means more fun, right? A lot of developers fall for this trap. Like, we need to make things harder to kill because then it's more fun for the player. Like, right, struggle means challenge. No, it's not. Sometimes struggle just means struggle. For some reason, developers think that if you struggle, you'll be challenged and you'll want to overcome that struggle. But the problem is that very often struggle is also just struggle and not fun. Well, so, like, the problem is the casted Hydras, I think this is bugged. I shouldn't have 12 hats. The standard temper is 4. And if you masterwork 4 once, 2, 3 times, I think 4 goes up to plus 10? Or can it actually go up to plus 12? Wait, no. 4... Actually, no. Right? It goes up to 6, 8... I think 10 is the max it should go. 12 is max now. Okay, 12 is actually possible. That's good to know. I thought I was bugged when I got 12, that, like, 12 is just too much to be true. Like, right, how is 12 a thing? But yeah, the plus 12 is obviously amazing because 12 is 1,200% more damage. And if you then use the Serpentine aspect where you get 5% more... You get 5% more damage per mana point consumed on cast, and here I cast with 272 mana. You can imagine that my Hydras are actually plenty powerful, right? My fun part is just how much mana you actually regenerate. right? Currently, we have a mana regeneration of 118%, and we, like, yeah, you just, like, it's boop, 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 boop. If I now had a lucky hit for mana too, then it would be even more efficient. Don't actually need it, but it would still be more efficient. Summoner Sorc is better than Summoner Necro? Yes. Yes, it is actually better than Summoner Necro. It's because a lot of the damage multipliers are just nasty. I just mentioned this, like 12 hats is 1,200 more damage. The problem is, like, how to get that multiplier. So, like, Sorc might be better right now than the Necro in terms of damage output. The huge issue is, how are you going to get it done? I mean, in order to get the hats, right, you need to have a weapon and you need to masterwork it 3 times in a row. There is no alternative. Like, this is literally the thing. You have to grind yourself 100,000 Opticide, and then you have to spam it until you have it masterworked 3 times. Otherwise, your build will just never feel complete or good, right? So with Necro, it's kind of like, bibbidi bobbidi boo, I will masterwork this, and then I'm gonna masterwork that. And you know what? I might actually masterwork this a little bit. And it's still gonna feel okay. Because kind of like all the damage multiplies up nicely anyways. But for this, for the Hydra, it's really just this. You need to do this. No compromise, no question. Like, fuck you. I can feel a bit bad, if that's the case. Oh, Master Vein, you know how it is. I get my mage character in Tainted Grail over 100% crit chance. I'm using Mythic Word to be unkillable. Yes, Christian, that works. And with my money-making scheme, I could have reached that 100% crit as well. Should do it. So Necro's in fact better. Necro has had always the ease to use argument. I mean, Bloodwave Necro is so easy to equip, like my dead granny can do it. Right? So it's really simple. And other classes, they might have a higher power ceiling sometimes, but in order to reach that higher power ceiling, you need so minuscule perfect masterworks, right? I mean, the biggest power ceiling would be 3 times masterwork actual conduit. Okay. 3 times masterwork actual conduit on the resource generation. And again, no argument. There's no scheme B that might be better. It's just that. Then also Harlequin Crest, 3 times masterwork maximum resource. Also not a single argument. You need to get this. Then 3 times masterwork more Hydra hats. No argument. You need that. I think on the Cedar bindings, you need primordial binding as many times as possible because that gives you more damage. So also not an argument. 3 times masterwork primordial binding. No other skill lives up to this. For the Ring of Starless Skies, it's okay. You could get kind of everything. For this one, I mean, Devouring Blaze is obviously nice because Devouring Blaze is which one? Devouring Blaze was this one here, right? So yeah, you notice there is not much freedom. On Bloodwave Necro, it's like, okay, so if I get maximum life on this piece, that's good. And if I have a 2 times masterwork, we're cool to go. And if you're then getting like some maximum life over there, that's nice. Maybe some cooldown reduction, right? I mean, obviously there's also a perfect outcome, but you'll still end up with quite some nice damage without the perfect outcome. But with Sorc, it always felt like if you truly want to be good, if you truly, then you better get all the things pretty damn nigh perfect. I like to see Frost Nova and Hydra together. We actually didn't go for the Frost Nova thingy because I wanted to get some more area damage in. That's why we went for the Fireball enchantment, and it actually has worked out in Infernal Hordes quite good. That you, like, with the Fireball enchantment, just have like a little bit more kavam going on. Is there already builds for the PDR? I mean, we just made this character here live on the stream. So yes, there are already builds on the PDR, but obviously everything is up for change, right? Funny story is that you can actually play the Hydra sword on live too. It's just different because you don't have the Ophidian Iris, so you have to play this a little bit different. Did you try Fireball? We're playing Fireball and Hydra right now. So why are we playing the Hydra enchantment? Because we're getting bonus Hydras. So you have the Hydra and then you have like another Hydra, and that's kind of like cool. And that Hydra can exceed the Hydra limit, in case you didn't know this. So if I make like these big Hydras, then the small Hydra that's spawning is possible to come on top. Surprising amount of ether. If you wonder why don't I have a monster to pick up the ether, well, because this is a test server and Blizzard just thought that giving people something that picks up things is absolutely unnecessary. Which activity do you think the most rework, maybe for rewards or actual activity? I mean, like, Infernal Hordes just need love. Tell me one product that has been the best product that Diablo 4 has gotten so far in any update, and it's been Infernal Hordes. Don't lie to me. You know it's true. And that Infernal Hordes, despite being the one that single-handedly saved Season 5 from being an absolute disaster, for some reason they haven't done a single thing. Infernal Hordes is out August last year. And they haven't done a single thing. Nothing. It's now 1 year old and not a single update to it. I mean, you could say that Nightmare Dungeons also have received not a single update since the game was created. But hell, Nightmare Dungeons never had the impact that Infernal Hordes had because everyone just hated Nightmare Dungeons after a while and never wanted to return to them. It's on the roadmap. I know, my friend. That's why we're so excited. And imagine finally getting the Infernal Hordes reworked after all this time. I couldn't be happier. It's been 84 years. Insert like Titanic meme here, Chan. With Rose in the picture and the Infernal Hordes. Right? Nightmare Dungeons are the best casual though. No! Infernal Hordes, even casual. Nightmare Dungeons are just like... Nightmare Dungeons were so bad that they even made them completely different in Nahantu. I mean, look at Nahantu Nightmare Dungeons. They removed everything that made Nightmare Dungeons. Nightmare Dungeons were these handcrafted dungeons with these hand-picked activities, where you do these hand-picked activities to get like the rewards and be like guided through the dungeon. And you know what? It was so terrible that they in Nahantu removed all the objectives, and every Nahantu Nightmare Dungeon you can just run through. Yay. Do you play with the actual conduit pants? Yes, you need to play with the actual conduit pants. There's no other opportunity. So the whole shtick in this build is playing the... You get torched. I love the new masterworking system. You mean the bug masterworking system, but yes, it's crazy. I mean, it always makes you wish that the masterworking was actually that way, right? The Infernal Horde's visual bugs are all fixed, finally. Can I have some copper claps in the chats? Oh, yo. Okay. That is the Hydra sorc. Brilliant. I'm having so much fun with this. It's probably... It might be my build, Chan. If I'm not playing Necro, I might focus on this. The Summoner Pants still bugged and won't give all GA Masterwork levels. What? Twitch? The Summoner Gloves are bugged. I don't know which pants we're talking about. By the way, is there another Hydra aspect that sorc has? I know so few about sorc. Like my knowledge is all like very selective. Okay, so the Serpentine aspect is the only one you have for Hydra. But it's such a funny one. Gotta say. So by the way, we mentioned to go up to, in case you missed it, Chan, we managed to go up to 317 mana. And 317 mana is another 1,585% damage increase. Did you play Lightning Spear in Season 8? If you tried, you will say Hydra is not so good. I played Blizzard Sorceress in Season 8, Shira. I don't also care how good Lightning Spear is. The Hydra sorc is good. No matter how good Lightning Spear is. Okay? Hydra sorc is really fun. And it's really good to play. And it's stupid because you're summoning Hydras and they're killing everything. As Blizzard said, they'll add more world bosses. Since the start of launch, we only have 3. But what for? Most of the time, I'm not even going to world bosses, Calf, because it's like boring. Right? World bosses are boring. You know what I would like? If I could fight a world boss one-on-one. If there was an option to go to the world boss and be like, do you want to join as a team? Or do you want to kill it alone? Then I'm in. Then you got me. Oh, baby. Let's hope Blizzard keeps the stats on the amulet in Season 8. The problem with the amulet is you kind of want to have just 4 greater affixes, right? There are quite some items, like, for example, the actual conduit, you want the greater affix resource generation. You want the greater affix primordial binding here, right? But for this amulet, you're like, hey, I would like to have every single thing greater affixed. The same actually goes for the Necromancer. You're looking at the Hand of Naz, and you're just like, okay, maximum life, greater affix. Attack speed, greater affix. Skeletal mage damage, greater affix. And skeletal mage mastery, you know what? Greater affix. That would be fantastic. The new items are being dropped by Endariel, Duriel, and Harbinger. Same actually for the Ring of Mendeln, right? You want the int, the damage, the summon attack speed, and the mastery. I guess the summon attack speed and the masteries are more important than the other two. But yeah, this one's like, yeah, I'm sure if I had all 4, that would be good. For the Blood Moon Breaches, it wouldn't matter. You want Hellbound Commander and that's it. The rest is just like whatever. So which class should I pick, Mage or Necro? I mean, I will most likely start with Necro and then pivot into Mage, because Necro is just really nice for farming base equipment. You can play minions to get into Torment, then you can actually start farming the equipment, and you can make sure that you might or might not get Bloodwave. And then with Bloodwave, you could push even further, get your equipment pieces for the Necro and be good. I don't think we actually need to do this season, because if I get the Hand of Naz and my Ring of Mendeln, I should get an instant power boost, which is quite amazing. So I'm genuinely looking forward to that. Any hope for Bone Storm in Season 9? Bone Storm in Season 9 as a shadow skill in a shadow build might work together with Tyrant's Bane, but probably not. I have Masterwork hit crit twice on Hellbound Commander and did not get the update. Yeah, so something is really weird about this Pans Twitch. I do agree that some Masterworking is like kind of iffy. Yeah. You are indeed correct about that. I guess the most builds for Necromancer, we're going to see, like, we have Army of the Dead, we have Bloodwave, you have the Bloody Bone Spear for people that actually still like to play that. You will be able to most likely make a Blight Shadow build. Blight Shadow should work. Blight Shadow minions might work as well. So there's certainly some build variety for Necro. And this is without really diving deep into what the powers can do, because the powers actually scale nicely, right? Disintegrate does millions of damage. You can have the Astral Pillar do millions of damage. You can even have the Propulsion do millions. There is quite some damage you can weasel out of this. I actually tried pushing the Cosmic Anomaly, and I could get the Cosmic Anomaly to have a base damage of 40 million damage. And that was without it critting, right? So, like, it was 40 million when all my multipliers are multiplying. And if I then shoot 5 of these anomalies to get together, then you would have a 40 million detonation times 5. And that would be without potentially using one of the gems to actually boost your skill to do more damage. Right? So... maybe... I mean, your catalyst deals 100% more damage. Sure. Like, let's go and try. Maybe I could make it do billions of explosion damage like that. But I don't think it would be reliable. Top 3 most fun builds in Diablo for you right now. You have Death Trap, Summoner Barb, and Stoneburst Druid. Those are probably the top 3 I would choose. Right off the hook. Is the Shadowbone ulti unique focus still a build? The Shadowbone ulti. What? You mean when you play Bone Storm and you make multiple Bone Storms with a unique shield? Or what are we talking about? What about Zangivar Blade with a new glove? Not worth it. Zangivar shit, sadly. You're interested in something that will blast through pit 80? Death Trap Rogue. Death Trap Rogue is still insane. Despite the nerfs. Despite the heavy trying to shut it down. Still insane. D4 worth getting back into. Played the campaign when it came out and then stopped a little while after. If you played Diablo campaign and then stopped a little while after, it might just not be a game for you, Kini. Diablo 4 is certainly a game that's worth to play if you like Diablo 4, if you like what Diablo 4 has to offer. The game is vastly different to what it used to be. So this is not the Diablo you're used to 2 years ago on release. It is a complete different game. It's vastly better in many aspects. Some worse, but generally better. I mean, if you have the game already, what's stopping you from installing it and trying it? Right? You got the game. Just install it and see if it's fun. Good. John, I think this was it for today with the testing. I will be making a comprehensive video that kind of wraps up all these fun builds that we have done so far and how the power scaling generally feels. If in case you missed it, we also did a Spiritborn with Thorns. We also wrapped up all our thoughts today in a YouTube video. So if you haven't watched that one, what are you actually doing here? How dare you? Like, go there and drop a like and say, like, Pony forced me from the live stream to go here. It's that video. It's called New Endgame Loop. This one here on the left. You watch this right now. Or I'm going to hunt you in your dreams. That being said, I'm going to threaten you with a great day. Take care. And I'll see you tonight for the Dune Awakening reveal, endgame-wise. It's going to be live here on YouTube, and it's going to be live here on Twitch. Dankeschön. Good night.